Hey, welcome to another episode of the Beer Bullshit Show!
Yay!
Woo! Episode 23.
What?
I am the host, Chris Bennett. And, yeah, I know we're missing good old Jim Bab, but he should be on soon here. We have another repeat offender, Scott!
Uh-oh. Gotta be a repeat offender. More than once.
Offender.
Thanks for having me again, man.
But,
Appreciate it.
But we're not going to start off with Scott, because Scott's special. Okay?
Ooh.
We're going to start off with the lonely boy in the corner there, Garrett.
The least special one.
The least special. Yeah, whatever. Special one, yes.
I don't even know I'm on here.
What you sipping on, Garrett?
Thanks for asking there, Chris Bennett, and so humbly, might I add. Tonight I am drinking, we've got a couple new Flying Dogs that I'm very excited about. And
The
in
truth.
honor, well, hang on now.
Okay.
Oh!
Hang on now. Don't get ahead of me. All right? Currently, I am drinking the of the two, which is a 7.0, the Blood Orange Ale. It's
Ooh.
you know, with the epic Ralph Steadman graphics on it. It's called Bloodline. Yeah, Ruby, this is right up your alley.
I
And,
love blood orange.
And it's got oranges in it, so it's really good. Like, this is such a good summertime drink. I think I'm going to be stocking up on this stuff because it's.
You gonna bring some to Porkfest?
I'll bring some. Yeah, definitely. I'll bring you a 6-pack. Sure.
That's
Sweet.
awesome. Yes, I love that. That would be great.
You know, for a little hospitality, a little housewarming.
Well,
gift.
we're you know what we're doing? We're making like a road trip out of like our road trip, and we're gonna visit liquor stores and buy beer the entire way to New Hampshire.
There you go. There you go.
So we're gonna have all kind of stuff. You can make your own 6-pack out of what we bring.
Yeah, I'm finding zombie dust. That's like what's happening.
And so, all right.
So go back
that's
to
what
you.
I'm
Sorry.
That's what I'm working on now, and it's so good. I'm gonna crack open. I shit you not, the truth. In a little bit. This is the other one. This one's a doozy. I am thoroughly enjoying it though. Like, I bought a 6-pack of it on Monday, and I was like, I'm totally gonna save one of these for the show, and I drank them all that night. And Tuesday was a little rough, but I managed to get another 6-pack today because they're going fast. The guy's like, yeah, I got 1 case of them, so I ran back down there and got the last one in the fridge. But I'll let you guys know more about that when I crack it open.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So Ruby and Nick, since you're the other 2 cohorts of the show. You know, I guess I should address, yes, Annie is not here currently right now. My usual co-pilot here, my shotgun. But she's out there playing with the kitty and watching Dexter. So I'm just gonna let her tonight go earlier with me today, and it was wonderful. But Ruby and Nick, what you guys sipping on?
Well, right now we're sipping on Fresh Squeezed IPA by Deschutes.
Oh,
Nice.
from the IPA scene.
It's good, and Nick got a couple of really special things. I can't remember what they are. Maybe he knows.
And I got a couple of sours we're gonna drink tonight.
Sorry, I'm having an allergy attack. If I lean off screen, it's because I'm blowing my nose and or sneezing and or both. So, sorry.
Or speed eating hot dogs.
No.
One of those.
No.
You sure?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sure. We had a beer earlier. What was it? The Aloha?
Aloha Brewing. I don't know, their IPA. You said it tasted like metal.
It tasted like licking metal. I did not care for it. Like, have you ever, like, you know, I
guess I should have gotten beers.
I don't know what the hell it was about it, but it seriously tasted like metal to me. And like, you know, so I had one of those, and then I had a Fresh Squeeze IPA after it, and I was like, this is so much better. I was like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with that beer, but it tastes like, you know, somebody put freaking metal in it, because it tastes like I've got some aluminum foil in my mouth or something. Like, I'm not really sure, but I didn't find it tasty at all. Like, it was like not tasty.
Here, that one.
This one, Castaway. It tasted like metal. I mean, and
Is that,
It's okay.
That I don't remember which one that is. What style of beer is that?
it's an India Pale Ale, an IPA.
I wonder if they got a lot of either oxidation in the bottle, or if that's some of the sulfur coming. You can get sulfur out of the malts during the brewing process.
You know what? I don't know, but I've had another Kona that was really, really tasty.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
had the
so
Fire Rock Pale Ale.
and that was really good. But this, like, to me was like I had to force it down. I was just like, ugh. It literally tasted a lot like metal, and I don't know.
Show 'em that
But I
one.
can't wait to drink these sours. So we have Fathom.
It's by Two Brothers. It's a local brewery here out of Warrenville, Illinois. And here's a New Holland Cellar Series White Sour Ale. It's called Incorrigible. And the bomber is $4.
Nice.
Yes,
No way.
Yep.
Yep.
But it was limited release, so they would only give me one.
Oh.
I should go get another one tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you should go get another one after work. So that's what we have tonight. I'm totally not drinking another Castaway. It is like drinking metal, and if Nick wants it, he can have it, and I'm going to sneeze now.
But Fresh Squeeze is really good. I've had this many times. It's always good. Scott,
What's up?
how's it going? What are you drinking?
Oh, it's going very well. And this evening, I actually have three. I have one
There's
from
Jim
my
Babb.
favorite brewery. I'm going to start out with the Grumpy Monk
That's good stuff.
Belgian Pale Ale, like Belgian IPA kind of hybrid. I'm also going to be working off of the Sierra Nevada Blindfold.
That was good too.
I haven't had that.
And I'm going to tip off the night with a West Veteran 12.
Hey
A
Ruby.
what?
Yes.
Hey, Ruby, if you go and get the 4-way IPA, Sierra Nevada 4-way IPA, it's a 12-pack. The blindfold's in it.
Yes.
Ah. Okay. I was just thinking I haven't had that one
It should
before.
still be available because I saw it the other day here.
I got a single of them. I went to a new spot that I've never been to. It's about 45 to an hour away from here, and oh my God, they had to have had on shelf, in coolers, everything combined, at least 3,000 to about 3,500 different beers.
That's crazy.
I picked this one up. Just this bottle was $1.42.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Where did James go? I saw James like driving in a car, and now he's
I
gone.
saw James too. I was going to introduce him, but he kind of just.
There's
That's
Annie and
when you have the
Kitty.
best-
Oh,
It's Annie and Critter. Annie Critter.
it's Izzy. She's getting bigger. Hi, she's getting bigger.
Tell Garrett to turn your mic on.
Hey. Here, stay right there, kitty. Oh, you guys can't see her. She's there.
I totally watched your show. I think it was episode 3 the other day while I was like cleaning house and doing things.
So you saw her, but she was kind of running away.
And she was playing with Garrett's guitar the whole time.
Now she's a lot more calm.
He was like, "Well, let her play with the guitar," and I'm thinking maybe she wants to play you a song. She likes your guitar, Daddy.
Where's the cat going for Pork Fest?
My mom's house.
Isn't she a little angel?
Over
She's
there,
beautiful.
Apparently, I have to turn my phone off because somebody wants to chat with me, and I don't want to chat with anyone. So I'll be back.
Oh. Okay. Here we go.
We need
So yeah, we did have. This is great. We got the kitty here, Jim coming back. Told you about the truth. I'm so distracted by our kid. Look. Who's your baby? Who's your baby?
Annie, how far are you in Dexter?
I'm on season 3.
Have you ever seen this before?
No.
Okay. I'll just shut up.
Oh look, there's Jim Bab again. We might only have him for a second.
Looks like a mugshot of Jim Bab. For the SARS.
No, okay, we lost the host. No.
Jim Bab! Monsieur Jim Bab!
You can see very little of him. There he is.
Derp, guys.
Well, while we're trying to still connect with Jim Bab, anybody want to know what I'm sipping on?
Oh shit. Chris, man, what you sipping on?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Garrett. I'm
Finally.
sipping on a Boulevard Pop-Up IPA, Session IPA.
Hey, I got terrible bandwidth to really hear you guys, so
Okay.
Just keep talking. You're good.
Yeah, if you leave
Oh,
your
there it
Fell
goes.
off again. Anyway, I'm sipping on that, and earlier, this is they single hopped it, but it's got a very citrusy back taste to it, and I kind of like it, to tell you the truth. So, picked a 6-pack of this over at Hy-Vee, and it was inexpensive. So I was running low on the beer, and I needed something. So, and then next week, probably on my days off, I got actually 2 days off before I start my new job. I'm gonna start start my homebrew that I've been sitting on for the last 5-6 months, so I need to get that going. And then earlier, I was drinking a Hop Side Down IPA by Widmer Brothers. So
nice.
That's a good one.
and then right before the pop-up, I was drinking a Baraboo Wheat Ale. So
Where are all these beers coming from, Chris?
Boulevard is Kansas City. Baraboo is from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
And the Widmer is from Portland, Oregon. So, and then I'll crack open I'll crack open a Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA.
Nice.
Yum. Yum 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 yum
Definitely
yum 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 yum.
In fact, when I went in for the interview for this job, and they distribute mostly Miller and Coors products, and 80% of the craft beer that's in the market. They asked me, the main guy, the guy that owns the place, asked me, what do I drink? And I said, well, I drink Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada, New Belgium, mostly stuff that you guys carry. But I really, really, really was happy that you guys brought back the Dogfish Head into the market. And I said, in fact, I was working my Coca-Cola route, and I saw a guy over at Schnucks, and I said, and he was looking at beer, and he was just looking and looking, and I said, hey, what are you interested in? And he's like, well, I like IPAs. And I said, oh, you're a hophead too, just like me. And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what have you had? And he started pointing the ones that he's had and stuff. And I go, well, have you had Dogfish Head yet? And he said, yeah, I've had their 60-minute. And I go, you need to upgrade, dude. You need to try their 90. And he said, well, do they have it here? And I said, yeah, sure, and pointed in the right direction. And I think they were impressed that I knew the beer and stuff. So.
Has any one of you guys ever had Dogfish Head's 120-minute IPA?
Yes.
I
Delicious.
believe we've had that
We haven't?
before.
I thought we did.
No,
Oh.
I've never had it.
Oh, apparently not. I thought we had. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm so stuck on the 90. I don't want to know. I don't want to have the 120.
You would honestly know if you had it because the 12-ounce bottle,
She's
a
like
single, would actually cost you $10.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
heard
we
it's
have.
over the top.
It's just like
Kitty!
Dippy in my hands. Say hi.
Does she have some orange in her?
Hi, guys.
Look at that.
Hi, guys. What you sipping on?
Does she have some orange in her?
I don't think so.
A little,
I'm
like light
colorblind.
brown.
I'm
that's
colorblind as hell, though. So.
Yeah, it's more like light brown, but it could be a little orangey.
So, Scott,
Yes, sir.
have you had any of the summer beers yet from Sam Adams?
Oh, let's see. I've already had I've went through their summer pack already. I've went through their deconstructed IPA pack already. What else have I had? I have gotten a bottle. Matter of fact, I've gotten 2 and went through them. The Honey Queen.
Oh my god.
You haven't seen that one yet?
I have not seen that one yet.
No.
It's a hybrid. It's a braggot style, and it's like a hybrid between a mead and beer.
Yum.
So it's got that very upfront honey, very sweet. It's actually brewed with 3 different type of honeys. Matter of fact, it says on the bottle right here, brewed with clover honey, orange blossom honey, chamomile, and alfalfa honey added. So, I mean, you got all that going on, and it's very light, a little slick because of the honey, but at the same time, you get that very subtle malt biscuit note, and it is just so smooth, and it goes pretty much pairs well with any kind of light foods, especially salads. I had it with a Caesar salad.
Hey guys, I'm out of here.
Bye, Annie. It was good to
Bye.
see you. See you Wednesday, Tuesday? When am I seeing you?
We'll be getting
We'll
there
be there on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
My bad. Bye, kitty.
So yeah, I'm gonna petition Sam Koch to make the Belgian sessions a permanent thing, because that's my favorite one
The
for
Belgian.
the summer.
love-
The Belgian sessions.
Okay, I could agree with that. It's a very light and easy drinking beer. My only gripe with it is that they need to bottle condition it. I mean, that would be my only thing with it. They don't really do any bottle conditions or active yeast in the bottles. So if they would do that, it would honestly give them more of that Belgianist ale feeling and taste to it.
I love Belgian ales. They're actually like my favorite of all
I got
the
I
Belgian
got the
ales.
sought after one right here in my hand.
I mean, I just like if I see Belgian ale, I'm like, I want that because it you know, it's like one of the things I've learned to love. Like I don't even know why. I can't just to say why, but like the Belgian ales, like if it's a Belgian ale, I'm gonna love it.
What
For
about
the
Blue
most
Moon?
part, I've just traveled some of Germany's best released beers within the
Yeah.
last couple of months, and I gotta say it's phenomenal. Just the aspect that you can go through. Here, for example, I have a bottle of the Zuner Kolsch beer from Cologne, Germany, and it's a Kolsch style beer. If you want something really light, really easy drinking, one-dimensional, I mean, this is like it. I mean, big on like a lemongrass, biscuit notes, and just clean and refreshing.
That sounds delicious.
And then when you get into like Belgium, I mean, where would you not go than the Westvleteren? Because Westvleteren Abbey is just amazing. They have 3 different style Abbey ales. They got the blonde, they got the 8, and then they got the world sought after 12. How do I explain this? It's like the blonde is just a very light, very easy drinking, sessionable to me Belgian ale. It's very light in color. You get those fresh
Thanks.
Belgian yeasts. You get like the clove, the bubble gum, the banana. I mean, those are just the traditional flavors.
That sounds awesome.
Right. And then when you go into the 8's a little bit harsher because it's 8%. Then you start getting into the darker fruit notes, black cherry. Where do you want to go from there? Like sugar dates, sugar raisins, figs. And then the 12 is just really heavy. It's 10%.
Can you send me a sip of that?
And it's an amazing beer.
Well, Nick and I just opened the new beer too. What gave me the thing? We just opened Fathom Sour Ale. I like sours too. So like second to Belgian is probably sours.
Lots of Belgians are sour.
I know. But I'm just saying like I understand how beer's made. We took the class. So yeah. I like sour. I have always been a fan of a more sour thing than a sweet thing, or a more salty thing than a sweet thing. So I am not a huge fan of super sweet things, but I am a fan of really fizzy things or really sour things. And this is delicious. Fathom gets like a 5 in my book. It's freaking awesome, and it's got a beautiful color.
It's too much money to drink, though.
Hey Nick,
Yeah.
for your like 5th or 10th wedding anniversary, you need to take a trip over to Belgium.
All right, done.
because Ruby would never leave. I'm telling you,
'Cause
she
we
would
get jobs
never
there.
leave. I went over to Belgium in '97 before I became. I wish I was a connoisseur then than I am now. Back in '97, I had a pen friend whose dad just literally went all over the country and collected like cases and cases of beers all over the country. And at that time they had 1,200 different styles of Belgian beer. And he would go around the country and collect like cases of these beers and store them. And every night I was over at her house, he would pour 3 different Belgian styles for me. And I think out of the 12 that I had, I think 10 of them I liked. There were 2 that I didn't like. But there was also a language barrier because he didn't know any English and I didn't speak Flemish. So, but I could read it. I could read Flemish. For some reason, I could read Flemish because I knew a little Dutch and I knew a little German. So,
but you couldn't understand him talking at all.
I could read it. I could read stuff better than I could speak it.
I get that.
Because when I looked at the paper one morning, it was the day after the Mike Tyson Evander Holyfield ear biting incident. And I was reading the article, and my friend is just like, well, read the article to me. And I started reading the article back to her in English, and she took the article, and she's like, you don't know much Flemish, but you just read this article almost verbatim. And I said, if you know a little Dutch, if you know a little French, if you know a little German, okay, you could just get around anywhere in Belgium.
Well, that's kind of because English is a Germanic language, so no matter how you think of it, like, it actually has its roots in the same place. And I had the same kind of experience in college where I was taking a women's history class it had 7 people in it. And this one girl in there, she was...
it was like 6 chicks and 1 dude. It was like, I'm just gonna try and hook up.
No, there were 2 dudes, and one of them was like really rather obese, and he was the most misogynistic, bigoted asshole I ever took a class with in my entire life, and I couldn't figure out like why that was, you know. He was actually like older too, so I mean, I'm in college, I'm maybe like 20, and he's like 50, and I was like, why are you even taking this class? I mean,
because they haven't invented World of Warcraft yet.
He was totally like a classroom. He was a classroom troll. But that's beyond the point. So like, this Dutch girl was in my class, and she was Dutch, and she, you know, was like, we were discussing topics for a paper one day, and she handed me a paper, and she said, you know, I was thinking about doing this. She was like, but it's in Dutch, but I'm sure you could find it in English. And I looked at it, and I could like read almost every word of it, and I was like, holy shit, this sounds awesome. And so I did find it in English, but I was just like, wow, for this Dutch girl to hand me this thing that I've like never, you know, I've never seen Dutch before in my life, but hello, like, I can read it, and that was awesome. So
I've found that if you speak English but with a really tight jaw, it sounds like Dutch. So, like, I took some Rosetta Stone before I went to Amsterdam once, and it made you say things like, the dog is on the car, and it was like, the hund is un auto. And you know exactly what that says.
Exactly, right?
The hund is un auto.
That's great.
That program's actually pretty awesome. I tried like the first 2 like series of Spanish, like Latin American, and can't really recite. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher something right now.
It's because you have to be drunk to speak Spanish.
You know what I can do in Spanish?
Let's hear it.
Uno taco carne asada. Uno taco al pastor. Cebolito and cilantro. Uno, sope carne asada.
Well, the only time I usually use my Spanish, because I took Spanish and French, is when the Hispanics. We've got these. We've got a few really good Mexican restaurants in Springfield, and they come in and they ask me, what we got for like beef and stuff like that, and then I'll talk to them. They'll talk to me in Spanish, but I'll give them back the information back in English, because it takes a whole different process for me to go through it and respond back into Spanish again. And they're just like, oh, okay, and everybody refers them to me, like, Chris understands them, go to him. And it's just like, now that I'm leaving Wally World, okay, it's like,
Congratulations, by the way.
thank you.
No shit. I'm so happy for you.
And
I think we all are.
And now that I'm merchandising, the only two words while I'm distributing beer is cerveza and tequila. That it's like cerveza, bueno, cerveza.
I think you're gonna enjoy this job a lot.
I am too, because I've for the first 100 days I've had to take a slight pay cut, but I'm gonna get a lot of hours, and after 100 days I'm eligible for medical and dental, and get this, their medical and dental payment each month is $1.
Nice.
Huh.
Wow.
Is $1 a month, and if
That's awesome.
if I need to put the family on there, it's $35 a month.
Nice.
Sweet.
So they
Ours
really
cost
they really
$250.
they really
Like, I don't even want to think about what mine costs.
so they really do take care of their employees. Plus, hopefully within a year or two or something, I could be a salesman. I really want to get into sales. So
Right.
That'd be awesome.
And you should take Cicerone classes, and then you could be like, I'm that guy.
I think I have a buddy that works for another distributor, and his boss wants all his guys to be a Cicerone, but in the next 2 or 3 years or something like that.
There's only like 100 of them in the country.
Right.
Okay, so pardon my ignorance here. What exactly does that mean? A cicerone? What do you do? What now?
It's from what I understand, you're like an expert in the beer. In beer, you could take any beer and taste it and know exactly what's in it.
Like what yeast they used and which
Yeah, what
hops
yeast,
they blend. And
That
Okay.
also extends onto cleanliness as well, because of the fact that you could actually tell anybody exactly what beer will go into what glass and how to
Okay.
clean said glass.
There were 2 strips in there.
All right, I'm with you guys. I had a feeling that's what it meant, but just maybe for some of our listeners. I'm totally kidding. I've never heard that word before in my life.
there's people that work at restaurants that call themselves a Cicerone or whatever, but then there's like the official, dues paying member of the Cicerone
Right.
secret
Gonna take
Water Buffalo Club. So there's like 2 different levels. There's people that sell beer or whatever that are Cicerones, and then there's the people that are employed by breweries and distributors and brew pubs and whatever that are like the expert that knows everything about beer, basically. And there's exams you have to pass, and
I'm working towards actually taking my BJCP tests.
And
Yeah,
what's,
I don't know what
what's
that
that
is.
acronym for?
That is actually the beer judging certifications.
Nice.
oh, sweet.
Oh, cool. When are you doing that?
Right now, I'm just like gathering up all the information and making sure that I'm like at par. And then all I got to do is find a teacher that will give the exam around here, which I found one that's like 35 miles from my house.
So it's kind of like getting your ham operator's license?
Kind of. I mean, it's almost like taking your driver's exam, only
Okay.
you got a driver's test? Sure. Only I'm drinking this time, so yay.
Right, yeah. Sure. I guess I'm just kind of wondering what that exam would entail. I guess, like, I would imagine there's going to be some sort of a taste testing of some sort. Like, is it going to be a taste test or, like, all a written exam?
It's mostly written. I mean, there will be something that the teacher might want to like go over, especially in the fields of off flavors, because I mean, there's so many different off flavors that you can like give examples for, whether or not it's light getting in through the bottles causing off flavors, whether it's brewer's fault that the bottle's contaminated, whether it's sealing properly, whether it's distribution, something happened while distributing the bottle. And there's so many variables to taste, off flavors, aromas, appearance, region. You tend to have to know regional history on like Flemish styles, Belgian styles, Turkish styles. You have to know pretty much everything.
Yep. I'll stick to the art of drinking beer.
And giving it one-sentence reviews on the show.
I know,
Right.
I know, guys.
No, that's what I do. I don't give a shit. I'm not good at that. That's not my profession. I'm like, this is good. I like it. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, after you have your BJCP certification, you can actually go to any of your local things, especially if it's like cook-offs or whatnot. You can participate in judging if there's any kind of like taste-offs, especially if it involves beer. Or there's also high-level BJCP certifications. They actually host and get to judge the Great American Beer Festival. That's one thing that I really want to do.
Is that the one in Denver? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember watching a video a couple years ago. You know how they have those like hopinators or whatever you want to call
Like
it?
the hop towers.
Yeah, something like that. They had like an off-the-books video that I saw where they filled it up with weed, and they had this hop-infused like IPA, and
There's actually a can out there right now that it's brewed by a local brewery in Denver. Matter of fact, it's either Denver or I know it's out there because I seen the can and it's actually got a pot leaf on it and it says weed beer. So it's actually a marijuana brewed beer. Instead of putting hops in it, they just did the hopping with different types of weed.
because of Colorado.
Yep.
There was a beer I had from Dark Horse a couple weeks ago called "It Smells Like a Safety Meeting," and apparently it was something that they always had in their brew pub, but it was called "Smells Like Weed," and the government wouldn't let them sell it like that, and they made them change the label and they made them change the name of the beer. So they're like, well, most people would know "Smells Like Safety Meeting" means something else, or at least they're going to Google it and figure it out.
That's like there's. Have you guys ever had or heard of the brewery beer called? I want to say it's Unita, or Unta. It's out of Utah. It's a black IPA, and it's actually brewed with hemp seed. And at the very last moment of your each and every drink, if you know what that actually tastes like, you'll definitely see it and find it. So it's just like, oh, wait a minute, I know what that is. It kind of tastes like weed.
There's O'Fallon has a hemp rye seed pale ale or just an ale. And I just drank 12 of them. I don't have any more, so I can't even review it because it was one of those things where like, this is good.
I've been there. Get down to the bottom of the glass after you're sitting there drinking out of it, and you're just like, damn, that was really good. But I should have done a review on that.
My review consists of like I was just saying a minute ago, it's about a sentence, maybe two. I'm like, that was good or that sucked.
Pretty much. I mean, there's two different views of like reviewing. I mean, there are the people that want to sit there and listen to your rhetoric about the whole beer. What kind of flavors are you getting? What kind of aromas are you getting?
That shit bores me because then I'm like, I don't smell or taste that. You're full of shit. But sometimes it'll be like banana oak, and I'll be like, whoa, yeah, I taste banana oak somehow. Maybe because you put it in my head. I have no idea.
Yeah, right. I mean, but that's my thing when I review is that I don't look up any information. I don't watch anybody else's reviews. I do it.
Yeah,
just
that would
straight.
totally ruin it if you did, because
Right. So I just do it straight from the bottle, and I just give my opinion of what this product is supposed to give you. Where, like, nameless other reviewers, they'll go to, like, Rate Beer or Beer Advocate, and they'll just, like, jot down examples, and they'll put it on a sticky note and put it up on their screen. So when they're looking at it, they're like, oh, yeah, this is what, oh, wait a minute, I got to put my glasses on. This is what it's supposed to taste like.
you get hints of bubble gum and hibiscus.
Right. I mean, if you drank enough
That sounds
beer,
like horrible beer to me.
come on now.
That sounds terrible. Yeah.
What's that? What's that? Honey something, right?
Go for the grumpy monk.
Grumpy monk.
I did forget to mention, guys, that I totally cracked open the truth and was pouring that when I came back from the laboratory. I'm really excited about Jim Babb's response to my post on the Beer Traders page on Facebook. He was like,
Yep.
he was like, I want the truth. And it's easy. He was like, and I can handle the truth. And I think he can certainly handle this. I really like this thing goes down. It's like, I mean, I had no idea what you guys were talking about a couple of weeks ago when you were specifying the difference between like an imperial IPA or imperial IPA and like just another IPA. Since we've got a couple of quote-unquote connoisseurs here, what is the difference between an imperial IPA and like just a normal old like stone IPA?
Well, let me start this off by saying I hate that brewers are now throwing the word imperial or double around like it's nothing.
Duly noted.
The true definition for an imperial or a double IPA is, okay, they take their IPA, their standard IPA, and they use double the malts, double the hops.
Okay.
So if you have a
Plain and
IPA
simple.
that comes in at 6% alcohol by volume, if you're going to make a double, that damn thing better sure come in at 12%. You better use double the malts, double the hops, double the alcohol.
Okay. And so,
Now-
I mean, like, what are people doing to get around that? Or I guess they're just not quite doing double.
Well, they're not doing it at all. I mean, American breweries, especially American breweries, they're just throwing that out there to say, okay, this is our version of a very, very hopped up IPA. So they're not doing it true to the style.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm concerned most. I mean, I don't. That's why I enjoy. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I tend to stick to similar breweries. It's like Stone, Flying Dog, Rogue. I really like Rogue. I just like anytime I go to the store to buy beers that I'm familiar with. What the hell was that?
You're sticking
Ruby,
with the
did you
breweries
fart
that
out of your
you
mouth?
are comfortable
What
with.
was that? Hang on, I'm sorry. I hate to.
microphone in her mouth.
hate to give you but all I saw was Ruby like with the microphone. And I swear to God, I heard a fart or something.
It wasn't a
That
part. I
was so-
choked on the microphone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was like,
It was-
ah.
You finally found that it was too big.
All right. Okay, you're okay.
I
now,
took it a little. I'm fine. Thank you for being concerned about my safety.
Very distracting.
Is that why there's women on this show?
Beer and bullshit.
Or would it just be like men and dicks? Like, I don't know.
No, thank you. I'm not one for the Peter.
I have to be some kind of comedic relief, and
There you
I'm not
go.
actually really very funny most of the time. Only 1 out of 15 tries, maybe. Am I funny?
Oh, you have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know, Ruby. There have been a couple shows in the past that you've been a riot. So
I bet.
so I'm saying 1 out of 15. No, more like 1 out of 5.
Okay, I'll take 1 out of 5. That's all right. Nick
Who
is pouring.
here out of this group drinks New Belgium?
Well, Nick and I are.
This one smells like a sulfur fart.
We like Belgian beers, but like Nick just opened a beer. He said it smells like a sulfur fart.
Wait, no, that was my.
And maybe that was his own fart that he farted walking in here that you couldn't hear because the microphone wasn't up his ass. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one up your ass because I too can smell this now, and I'm like, yay, because you know with my allergies and shit, I only got one nostril working. It doesn't great.
Whatever.
I had to inhale
Watch
it.
his intake. Better start watching what he eats. If it's starting to smell like silver or metal, I mean,
I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to drink this beer now because of the way your ass
Check it.
smells in the air.
Whatever, it's all gone.
yeah, that's
It
not
is
gonna.
not all gone. He just farted it on like on me and then walked away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the bullshit portion of the show.
Rather early too.
Whatever, shut up. It's not that bad.
No, I love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to drink this incorrigible.
It looks like a saison. It's like so bubbly and
It's-
it's light and
It says it's a
sour white.
white sour ale. It says incorrigible celebrates the beauty of mischief, wild yeast, and bacteria run free in our sour agent cellar, the House of Funk, creating the vibrant sour and acidic character in this delicate yet complex wheat beer. The yeah, I just read that. The refreshingly tart session beer will tease your palate with a subtle, layered nuance.
Has anybody ever had that Quencher's gum or the Gatorade gum?
I'm gonna guess no because nobody said anything, so I'm gonna
I
go
remember
with
that shit. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
the-
20
it
years
was-
ago. So
It was juicy as fuck for like a split second, and like you got a nice little boost. I remember that gum.
Mm.
Yeah, I got a Gatorade gum, and it was really, really tasty.
Yeah, and if you think about it, does it make like your gleek muscles like start to salivate?
I'm gonna take another sip of this, and I'm gonna see how far I can gleek. You ready to watch, everybody?
Does everybody know what gleek is?
It's like
'Cause-
it's the
Aim
bull.
webcam. Aim
Yes,
for the
I do.
webcam.
okay.
It's
like
it's
the-
the bullshit portion of the show. Here you go. Hang on. I'm gonna do it.
Well, I just gleeked in her glass. It wasn't on purpose. I haven't done that in like 20 years. So
He just gleeked all up my arm, like half the side of my face, and like, stop! God damn it! You're not good at this. Just stop.
Come on, show him up, Ruby. Aim for the webcam. Oh god. Oh god.
You
This
can't
is like-
see it.
nope.
Oh
This-
no! Stop! God damn it!
This reminds me
He's
of other
totally hitting
videos.
me.
So what we're trying to say is this is really freaking sour.
Does the bottle at all tell you any details what they use?
Probably not. It's bacteria.
Well, I know the bacteria itself. I mean, most sour ales or sour beers to begin with, there's other like bacteria that they use, but the most common is like the Brettanomyces.
No, it doesn't say.
No, it doesn't say. And if my husband gleeks on me one more time, and like, because he's like pretty much gleeked all over like the entire like right side of my body, I'm gonna slap the fuck out of him. Okay, because like there aren't many things that gross me out in this universe,
like
but
one of those
spitting on me, if you're not fucking me, spitting on me is like one thing that really grosses me out. He's not fucking me right now, so like spitting on me is like I'm gonna fucking take this bottle and knock him upside the fucking head with it. Okay,
You're like
it's
one
a
of those-
violation to NAP. Like he is violating my space with his fucking saliva. I don't like it.
Bam!
I know, he's like checking out his phone or something. I don't know what he's doing. He's not paying any attention to me. He's like, fuck you, you're not gonna do that to me.
I was just reading the comment about how your mom was watching right now.
You know what? Hi, Mom. I don't like people spitting on me.
It wasn't spit, it was gleek.
Oh, it's totally spit.
If I make a sour, I'm just gonna call it gleek ale, and everybody's gonna know what it means.
Right.
Gleek. You should call it Ruby's Gleek.
Holy
Well, then you
crap!
have to
I don't
make
know,
it
man.
red
This might be
sour.
too sour.
It's pretty sour.
I haven't had a beer that I've ever said was too sour. I love sour.
I think it's good.
Evidently, that
Enjoy.
fruit is good then.
Guys, you're gonna love this. Hang on. Hang on, I got you. Keep your Facebooks handy.
I can't believe you gleeked on
Oh
me.
god, I heard that one. I heard that gleek. That's so gross. All right, here we go.
Stop.
I'm posting a photo to the Beer and Bullshit Show page. Chris, you gotta hop on Facebook and make this like the page image. This is what I've been doing. Sorry, I've been so quiet, guys. I've got so many ideas. Though I just show you what I have going now, and then I'm gonna keep playing with the show. So I'm honing my graphic design skills as we run.
That's pretty funny.
Wait, who's in the moon? Is
That's Jim Bab.
That's Jim Bab. And then so
To the moon.
I put Chris as the drunky guy, and the rest of us are the bullshit. Until
The
I
only
get-
thing that I think would the only thing I think would like help it more would be like boobs.
Yeah, I'm working on some ideas, and thank you for throwing that into the thing. Here, let me get my notepad because
Because like it's
We need
just
some-
really masculine right now. But like if there were boobs,
Cow memories.
we'll just keep evolving this every week. I'll keep working on this thing until we have this collab with all of our peeps tagged in it, based on some cartoon character we found on Google Images.
Well, you know, sex sells, and you know, if you could get
This
some
is
boobs
true.
on, you know, maybe 3 or 5 more people will watch the show. I don't know.
Go on, guys. Go on. My creative mind is writing down now. I can't speak.
I've been so busy lately. I haven't even checked to see, you know, the stats of for the show for the last
Well,
2
have you
weeks.
did you see the logo yet, Chris? What do you think of the logo? The little thing I just threw up on the Facebook
I
page.
saw the
Do you see it?
logo. I think it's cool.
You think it needs tits? I got you.
Yeah, it needs
Put the
boobies. It needs boobies. Boobies.
boobs.
Yeah, boobs.
Yeah.
Boobs.
Everybody likes boobs. I'm about to go get grab some pussy, bring some pussy back in here. Oh shit!
What's going on?
I hear some clatter, clatter from like an
It's
anti-state
Jim Bat.
brewery.
is that what's going on?
Yep.
Jim Bad, if you can hear us, just talk.
Sounds like barroom chat to me.
Woohoo! Too bad.
Maybe he turned gray. Like his hair.
You're me.
Doesn't he know that we do the show every Wednesday? What is he thinking going out and having
He's
a good time tonight?
Yeah, well, he's traveling to PorkFest, but he was taking his time, so he was like meandering through Vermont, and he was going to a couple of breweries and like having fun on the way there. Kind of like what we're doing, only we're doing it in like 2 days versus like his like whatever the hell he's doing.
Lots of drunk driving coming up.
Woo!
Well,
Oh, he's got himself muted now, so we can see his pretty face. Hey guys, I'll be right. Better go grab another beer.
okay. Well, I opened up one of my old home brews. It's a Scotch ale. It was like a 4% beer. I brewed it around about this time last year. So
So it's
Still
a year
has-
old. So
yeah, it still has a good color. So, and the smells like I remembered. So, it made
what
me.
hops did you use?
Oh, dude, I forgot.
See?
But it's.
You should write that stuff down. When I used to
Well,
paint
I have-
paintings,
I have it. The stuff tucked away somewhere, but because of everything that's been going on, and Ruby knows what's been going on lately.
yeah, I do. It's not.
It I just can't find all that information, but I saved every single info of every single homebrew that I use.
Yeah,
So
as long as you save your recipe info, that's good.
yeah, I did. But I wasn't gonna do the Scotch ale until the end of summer. But my buddy's like, no, don't do it at the end of summer. It's a light ale, and you should just do it now. And so I wound up doing it like in May or April, May or June or something like that. So, but
Scotch ales are kind of cool. Like
Jim Bab's gone.
I don't
not
think Jim
bad.
Bab.
Not bad. A year
Awesome.
later, not bad.
I like Scotch
So-
ales. I like, especially like, I almost consider it a wee heavy. So, Tracor Scotch ale.
Did we drink that salty dog on here last week, or was that just like another one that we had that we didn't share?
I don't know. Did we drink the salty dog on here? Do you remember?
I don't think you did drink the salty dog last week.
It was really good.
It was a salted caramel wee heavy.
It was good.
Nice.
It was a Scotch ale. The other one that we drank by the same people was not nearly as good as the salted caramel.
And it was a new brewery for around here. I can't remember the name of it.
Damn it. The bottles are probably stacked over there on the counter if you want to go look. Nick's going to go look. Because we save all our bottles because we plan on brewing our own beer.
Very nice.
And so it's just like we're just saving bottles. And so we're going to buy corks and cork our own shit, clean them, whatever. But that way we don't have to buy bottles.
Hey, I'm sitting on probably about 10, 12 cases of bottles right now. And once I find out what kind of schedule I'll be working and what kind of money I'm going to be making a week, I'm going to just buy brew kits. I found a really nice website called morebeer.com. Hope they don't mind me plugging in free advertisement.
I'm sure they don't.
Morebeer.com. If you order like $60 worth of stuff from them, it's free shipping.
Nice.
So, and they have 2 distribution areas. They have one in Pennsylvania and they have one in California. So if you're like east of the Mississippi, they'll send it out from the Pennsylvania warehouse, and if you're like west of the Mississippi, they'll send it from the California one. So, and I bought a couple of their kits, and it's been cheaper than going all the way down to Friar Tuck's and trying to get their kits and just waiting on which ones they have. So,
Is there not a homebrew shop there?
There's not a homebrew shop.
Oh my god, I could smell it, Ruby.
The closest thing to a homebrew shop is at Friar. So, but
Really?
there's no homebrew shop here in Springfield.
Man, there's 2 here. You gotta just swing by.
Oh, I plan on swinging by, but you guys are planning. Well, we'll discuss that at a later date. But swinging down here to Springfield to check out Obed's, and I think Ruby's interested in maybe taking a trip down to St. Louis to go to the Soulard Market. So.
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah,
I
she
mean
mentioned
that place is
Sounds cool.
that place is incredible. We can get 100 pounds worth of fresh vegetables, fruits, or whatever for about $70 if you haggle the prices right.
That's awesome.
That sounds like a cool game show. If you haggle the prices right.
It's called Organic Haggle. How much can you get your food for?
Food Jeopardy.
Food Jeopardy.
And
Hey,
the people there are really cool and everything. So, I mean, we love to go down to the Soulard Market. In fact, we take a whole day and just go down there and just enjoy. And the next time I go down there, I'd like to go visit some of the local brew pubs down there. So.
Have you ever been to the City Museum in St. Louis?
No.
Totally want to go. It looks like awesome.
It does look like awesomeness. It seriously looks very cool.
You can like get a beer and ride a 12-story slide. That's my kind of museum.
Oh, I want to do that. Where'd everybody go?
I'm back.
Suddenly, it feels like I'm alone.
Well,
You're not alone, Ruby.
Well,
I'm with you.
well,
Okay.
I'm looking at the stats, and I've gained 5 more subscribers, and we're up to 662 views. So
Total out of all the shows? That ain't bad. I mean, Chris, I saw your post about going on to the Voluntary Virtues Network. Or not, I'm sorry, I skipped a beat. I saw you posting about going on to connecting with the network.
right.
Honestly, with a little bit of polishing, this show could be a good show to pre-record and upload to the Voluntary Virtues Network at a certain time slot. We're
Well-
consistently meeting every week and doing shows, but we do like 3 and sometimes 4-hour-long shows that we would need to compress down to like an hour. You know, with
Right.
some video editing and stuff,
Well,
and just
what
like
I-
a
what
little.
And some
bit-
bleeping. Bleep! Ruby, bleep, 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 bleep.
I mean,
Ruby, bleep.
That's the Baron Bleep Bleep show.
No, honestly, no. Like we've been cussing on the show that me and Annie do during the live hangout on this network. It doesn't matter. We'd be just probably put to the comments like. I mean, the show is called the Beer and Bullshit Show, so
Could we-
right there. The title is explicit in and of itself. So
Okay, if the title's explicit, but shit is not like the worst word we say on this. So I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't it be freaking hilarious if we came up with a word that we used for a bleep instead of a bleep instead
Like
of like
shit
bleep?
cunt.
No, like poop.
No.
No, I'm
not
just.
poop. It
It's
already
just like
has another meaning.
okay. No, that's like just an example, but like, you know, some other really ridiculous thing, and like some tonal
Twat.
twat.
Yeah, like I think there's already that word's already there though.
Twat.
This beer's too sour.
But I think what
Twinkle.
what I was kind of thinking that, Garrett, but I was thinking more of a since the voluntary virtual network is more philosophical and stuff. I mean, that would have to
Philosophical.
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 Wouldn't we have to reinstate the old after show to kind of almost do that, because we don't really get philosophical on the show, really.
It's 'cause
Well,
philosophy's
considering the
not
fact that I
fun.
almost just, considering the fact that I put my ear to the microphone to hear you a little better. Yeah, I seriously, I did. I went like maybe I'll hear better this way. I'm glad Nick likes it. But yeah, that's true. It's not philosophical, but we could let the show go at like 3:00 in the morning. You know, like people can go back. It'll just give it more exposure. I mean, we
Okay.
don't need to lock into the prime time. Like we do a thing from 7:00 to 8:00 on Mondays and 6:30 to 7 on Wednesday. So like we did one earlier today, but we only get a half hour on Wednesdays. We get an hour on Mondays.
I think that if
And I
we
need-
weren't philosophical and we were just freaking funny like we normally are and full of bullshit, that people would laugh their asses off. I've watched a couple and I've been like, oh my god, for real? Did we just talk about that?
We should
Ruby-
get Jamie Crane to guest spot.
Ruby, Nick, my apologies real quick. I don't mean to interrupt, but I just want to relay this before I forget.
Sure.
Since we're doing these two different shows, and you guys are familiar with like Google Hangout and stuff, like Nick, Ruby, Chris, even Scott. I'm looking at all you guys. Like I intend to talk to Jim Babb about it whenever he gets back and stuff. But like once in a while, we're gonna want to bring like some of you guys to our show just to hang out and do a thing. It's literally all you have to do is log into the Google Hangout that we're doing, and we can do the same stuff. And just it's like way before we're already drunk most of the time.
I already told you I was down with it because I was home most of the day, and I'm especially home like when you. I think when you do your show before this one, I'm usually home.
Yeah.
So if you let me know the day, if you let me know a day in advance, so I can like
All right,
do my hair and
definitely.
stuff.
Is it
Also,
a problem when you start like planning your night? Like, well, I have to do X, so that means I can't drink Y until Z. That's how I've been living
No,
lately.
usually I handle all that shit at home. That's the stuff I'm thinking about when I'm at work. It's like, what do I gotta do before I get home and crack open a beer? It's like, because once I crack open a beer, I'm not going anywhere.
No,
Like, just-
no.
you know,
There's no cleaning. There's no yard work. There's nothing.
I mean, actually, no. I have to disagree because sometimes I crack open a beer and I clean the shit out of some shit. Like,
Yeah. Well, last Sunday I had been drinking and I decided I was gonna mow the yard. So I'm riding around on the lawnmower
oh,
and I've
no.
got my beer in the beer holder on the lawnmower,
Allegedly.
and I'm like, yeah,
Allegedly.
Oh no, it did happen.
it happened.
It happened,
All right.
It was
okay.
terrible.
and the yard had multiple mohawks and faux hawks, and like just completely fucked up spots.
It's because I had it in 6, and I was like, this is
No,
easy.
you know what? You don't fucking turn a corner in 6 because you are going so fast. The blade digs down in the ground, and it digs a fucking hole. Okay, but like something
Ruby,
who,
we can hear
you know,
you.
huh? Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. So what I'm saying is that like, you know, you don't mow the yard in 6 because when you turn the corner in 6, it digs a fucking divot into the ground. And
Fuck
you
that
know,
yard.
he's all
Nick
like,
has mowed the yard like maybe 3 times since we've lived here.
He's got like high bank turns.
Yeah.
for his
So you
course. Like,
can't-
just-
I've decided we no longer need this flower bed.
You can't turn a corner in a 6. It doesn't happen, or it digs a hole in the ground. And so I came home and I was like,
how big's
oh.
the yard? I'm curious. I'm a fellow.
We got 0.53 acre.
0.53. Okay. All right. So yeah, over a half acre. There
It's
you
a
go.
pretty-
So
It's a
And-
pretty big yard.
and you actually use a riding lawnmower for that? Okay.
It's a big yard.
That's what's up.
It takes an hour to riding mow it.
I saw-
No,
I
it takes
saw a
more
few-
than an.
I saw
Go
a
ahead.
few pictures of your guys' backyard wedding photos and stuff. It's cool. That looks like a nice place out there. Like, you guys are roughly secluded then, huh?
We kind of are.
Yeah,
like,
we're totally gonna get some chickens and maybe some bees.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
so you know, like I'm the one that usually mows the yard, and I think
And
he
dirt
really
bikes.
thought he was doing me a favor. But like when I came home, I was like, "Hey, babe, like what did you do?" You
I
know?
can totally relate. I can totally understand. like I used to, like, you know, when I was living with my parents, I would have to go mow the lawn all the time. But like now I lived in a condo for a couple of years. I lived in like this place in Vegas for a year that had a gravel lawn, and like the grass could hardly grow. Like you didn't want to cut it, you just wanted to leave it be. And then we live here for the past, you know, year and a half now, and it's like I haven't mowed the lawn in a long time, and I hate to admit it, but I kind of miss it, especially when I was like on the riding in like we used to have a riding lawnmower. My parents, they lived.
Did you guys have a 0 turn?
They there. Let me build up to that, because they live on 9.5 acres, but like
Wow.
7 of those acres are like woods though. It's like all wooded areas, so you
Okay.
don't gotta go mow back there. But it's a very large yard in like
Right,
multiple different fields. So
right.
like we have multiple different lawnmowers. We have the push mower for the front yard and the backyard
The
inside.
backyard, whatever.
Eventually the mowers upgraded to the walk behind, you know, like the thing with the 2 controls that like you can walk behind it, or you can like hop on that little like fucking one-wheeled Segway looking thing that just like drags you around, like because the thing will propel you all the way through, and then and then you get to the 0-degree turn thing that like my parents just fixed like the other day, like for Father's Day. My dad was like, "We're fixing this shit," and they fixed it. It was cool, and it helped because
I want a 0 turn because I really hate like having to make 6 trips around a fucking tree to cut all
let
the
me
grass
ask you this.
around it.
Are you guys handy with like motors and like
I'm gonna say yes.
Are you guys good with your hands? Can you like fix your own cars and shit like that?
Yes.
Totally go onto Craigslist or something similar to it in your local area and find somebody that has a broken one that wants to just get rid of it. Like I guarantee you they are out there. Even if you get one of those walk behinds like I was talking about. You can get one of those for a couple of $100, maybe even cheaper if it isn't like fully functional, and then just fix it. Talk to like landscaping companies and stuff. They're chucking that shit left and right. When they break it, they don't want to deal with it. And like people like us, we can take that and like fix up, $100 or so. Like just gotta figure out what's wrong with it and put it back together.
My parents have they have 6 acres and about 4.5 is maybe 4 is yard. So there's like acres of wood. But my dad bought a Kubota
Are they in like
zero-turn.
different spots too? Like are they in different
Yeah,
spots
yeah.
on their property? Yep.
Yes.
But they kind of like laid it out so you can freaking use the 0-turn everywhere. You don't have to push mow anywhere anymore.
Nice.
But,
yeah, I'm sure they've
thing-
like plotted that course for a while. Like, what's the easiest way to mow all of this shit without
that shit
having
goes,
to get off?
That fucking mower goes like 30 miles an hour. And you have to seatbelt yourself in or you're going to fly out while you're mowing the yard.
Nice.
I like mowing the yard. I like we have a lawn tractor is what it's called. It's not even called a mower. It's called a lawn tractor. Okay, so we have a lawn tractor, and I like cars and I like to fix things. So I learned that there's actually a group in our neighborhood that has a racing mower / synchronized mowing event. And I'm thinking to myself like, yes. Like, what do I have to do to be in this group of men? Because I know it's all men. It's all men with their fucking lawnmowers. And I want to be in there with my little,
wives. And their wives. Look, Nick's he's all riled up. He's ready to go.
They're there watching, I'm sure, but they're not mowing. Even though most of the people I see mowing in the neighborhood are women, I think the men that race are going to be men. I don't think they're going to be women. I want to fucking race my mower. I'm like, how can I soup this thing up? Like, what do I need for it? I need some turbo out the back. And I, want to turn a little faster. Like, how do I make my lawn tractor better than everybody else's lawn tractor? I'm going to race my lawn tractor. Watch.
Oh.
Coming soon. To a YouTube near you.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
Ask it.
Nick and Ruby, when are you gonna be at Port Fest?
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. Garrett.
Yep.
Jesus.
Garrett, when are you gonna be there?
We will be getting there midday Wednesday.
Midday Wednesday. And
Yeah.
I'm sure James will be there Monday.
No,
Saturday or Sunday, I think.
He's
Saturday,
gonna be
Sunday.
there Sunday. I
Okay.
was about
So
that
we
too,
need to-
just to see
so
if
we
could
need
link
to-
up.
Coordinate somehow for next week's show,
Okay.
which is gonna be a little problematic because we're dealing with Rogers Campground.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I'm going to be broadcasting 2 different shows live there from the LRN studio. I'm also going to be going and doing a show not broadcast from their little studio there, from with a person you guys might know, the good Ben Stone, the bad Quaker. I think he has the ability, like I think he uses a hotspot and all that stuff, which we might be able to tap into. Ruby, I'm not sure. Like you have the park model thing going on this year.
It's way in the back though.
I'm tempted to like spend the money to fire up my mobile device to work as a hotspot sort of thing, because we
Okay.
side of the model, like there's 4 of us right there, and we just got to
Right.
make sure whoever else wants to come is there. And thank you guys
Well, you're-
again. The Barnetts.
Barnett's.
Barnett. No, don't call us that, please. That irritates the shit out of me.
The good darn burn.
Burn it.
Seriously, guys, thank you so much for bringing us. Come chill at your pad. I don't know how much Annie told you about this, Ruby, but we intend to bring our tent. We're gonna pitch a tent on your site.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very.
Pitch a tent.
She's very thrilled to like be able to, utilize the kitchen and the bathroom and stuff like that, and like, we'll have a place to hang out when it's raining and stuff. But like past PorkFest experiences come to mind where letting somebody stay on the sofa doesn't work out. Like it's just because now somebody shits all over your main center point of the park model. So just fair warning.
No, that's why we didn't really want to do that. Yeah. Since you guys are camping out, it's all good. Unless something else comes up,
if it rains, you're totally welcome inside. Like I don't like. I'm like, use my dishes, just clean them afterwards. If you're gonna eat my food, you need to leave me some money, like that kind of thing. Like it's just, I think it's completely like a natural, like how it would be toward anyone else I was staying with. So.
And what you guys are gonna learn, Annie we're very humble when we're welcome to somebody's place, and we like to chip in wherever we can. Like I often find myself doing dishes just because I'm good at it. I'm not so good on the cooking end of things, but we'll remove people's plates all of a sudden. Like I'm the guy at the restaurant that's stacking the dishes. Annie complains about it all the time, but she's finally starting to understand that I do it properly. And
I guess what I'm saying is someone needs to get a hold of me like early Wednesday afternoon, so I can set things up.
Yeah, definitely. And see, and that's the thing too, Chris. Like Annie and I won't be getting to PorkFest until like hopefully before noon, because we got a thing we're doing at like 1:00. So.
What are you doing at 1?
We're doing that PorkFest game space thing.
Okay.
Firefly, the board game, and whatnot. Actually, Ruby, I believe you're signed up for it.
Okay. Yay!
No, I can't remember.
Well, then you better be there.
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
I gotta go check. The thing. I mean, it's like it's cool. Like we'll be at the same campsite too. Like.
Right.
Yeah. And just.
I was the one that suggested we did teams, right?
We don't need to do that anymore because now we can have like up to 7 ships in one game. It's good. Ruby, this game has gotten so awesome. We have 2 more.
Scott, did you ever watch Firefly?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
He has no idea what we're talking about. He's like, I'm bored.
Sky. Seriously.
Bruh.
Firefly.
Go on Netflix right now.
I know. Firefly.
Go on uTorrent right now.
uTorrent.
Firefly. It is like one of the best shows ever in the history of shows.
One season and a pretty cool movie at the end. That's what you get. That's the way. That's kind of the way I should be. Unfortunately, I feel like the one reason Firefly is so good is because it got canceled so quickly. It didn't get a chance to fizzle out like Firefly does. I exclude multiple different shows from this list, though. A la
Star Trek.
SG-1. Absolutely. Star Trek, wonderful. It had some weird spin-offs, and that's what I'm finding out now. I'm a little lost in the Trekkie world. It's like, guys, come on. I need, like, where's that North
That's
Star
like trying to follow Doctor Who.
Yeah. Another one that goes to the too much to know. But Stargate, the whole Stargate series, you can get through. Actually, watch 2 series and at the same time, right around like God, with the 7th season of Atlantis. No, the 7th season of SG-1. That's when they started Atlantis, and then they go into Universe. Universe got cut short, but apparently there's a movie coming. Also, Battlestar Galactica. Pick your decade. Pick your flavor. You like that old shit? You can stomach that. It's fucking wonderful. Good basis.
I watched them all.
I didn't watch any of the old stuff until after I saw like the thing of Battlestar Galactica, which I loved. I still loved.
I'm at
Baltar.
least 10 years older than you. Don't tell anybody that. By the way, the internet did not just hear that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the NSA is like, oh, we should. Ruby said she's 10 years older than this guy in the Ninja Turtle shirt.
Oh, because they don't already know who I am.
They've seen all your cleave.
I am sure they have.
What are you going to say?
And they're probably jealous.
Wait, is Scott opening that 12?
And they're probably jealous. Okay, Scott's opening the 12. Come on, Scott, tell us how it is. Come on, opening it is... Did it feel good, opening that? Was it nice and hard to open? Oh, tell us about the pour. Oh, my God. Look at that froth in the cup. Can you imagine that in your mouth?
Wow.
Wow.
That's darker than I thought.
Wow.
That's what she said.
That's a seriously dark beer you got there.
You like dark things in your mouth?
Yeah.
Yum.
What's that? Is that a wine glass? Like, alright. I'm having a hard time. Oh, I can read it. What? Hang on.
It says something, but I can't tell.
What does it say? What is it?
Turn it back, Scott.
Okay.
And then talk.
Flemish and near Belgium.
Further starter Snurnerberger. God, help us out. Help us out, Scott.
Come on, Scott. What does it say?
The St. Fluid.
All right, well, hang on. Everybody back off. Look at this thing. Scott,
Yeah.
this is a brand new beer. You're going for your exam. They want to know what you know about this beer based off of this taste. Let's hear it. What do you got? Drop some fucking beer science on us.
Beer knowledge.
Especially with this one. I mean, this one is like, how do I want to say this? I'm going to start off by saying this beer has never been released in the United States except for once. And the only reason that the monks released it here in the United States is because of the fact that they were looking more or less for a way to make money to replace the roof on their monastery. So when they released, I guess it was released in like 30 or 40 major cities and areas, maybe even more. I know in my local area, it was wrapped around the building twice to get only the 12 cases that they got. And when they were selling it here in the United States, it came in a 4-pack, and it had 2 glasses that came in the 4-pack, or in the 6-pack that it came in. But they were trying to charge you $98 for the 6-pack and 2 glasses.
Wow.
I'm like, no. I don't care if it's #1 rated best beer in the world. umpteen million times. I don't care. I said, you know, I met a friend on Facebook. He is in Germany. He went to the Belgian monastery himself and bought the beers. So I'm like, you know, for what I pay for a 6-pack is still less than what they're charging for a 6-pack. But, I mean, once you get this beer, if anybody knows Belgian beers, some of the top Belgian beers, especially the top 3, I mean, you have St. Bernardus Abbot 12. You have the Westvleteren 12. You have the Rauchfort number 8, number 12, number 10. Yeah, it's number 10. Some of these are the best beers, Belgian beers, that you're ever going to get your hands on. And especially, people argue that the Rauchfort is better than the Westvleteren, but it's all in preference. That's what beer tasting comes down to. It's all in preference. But to me, this here is the epitome of what beer should really taste like. I mean, they've been doing it for like the last 1,500 years. And
Right.
what we drink on nowadays, fresh. I mean, I've had a Pliny the Elder bottled and shipped to me within the same week. But yet, you can come across this. I mean, the cap literally states that it could be aged to 12/4/17.
Wow.
So it can sit around for a very long time, and you're still going to have the same great tasting beer.
That's awesome.
But I mean, once you smell it, I mean, like the Belgian beers that you guys like, I mean, you're definitely going to get that little bit of a Belgian yeast strain aroma. You're going to get the bubble gum, the clove, definitely a lot of clove in this. I haven't figured out their water strain yet, because there's people out there that are trying to homebrew this exact recipe. But when you're trying to do that, then you got to break down into the water molecules. I mean, what's the vitamins in it? What's the area's water? Other than that, they can still get pretty much the recipe, as in what malts they use, what type of yeast they use. They even use a candy sugar in this beer. So I mean,
What's a candy sugar?
actually, you can go to any of your bakery aisles and you can find what's called candy sugar. It's an actual type of sugar that you would use to give any recipes kind of like a more darker look and sweetness. Because once you stick your nose towards the beer, you're definitely going to smell a sweetness. You're going to smell. It's not going to be your what I'd like to say every time that I explain this beer is your daddy's beer. I mean, once you stick your nose up to it, you know that there's something different about this beer. It smells strong. It smells like that. You can definitely tell there's yeast in it. You're getting a big aroma of clove. You're getting big dark fruit notes like plums, sugar, raisins, dates, figs. And then once you sit there and take a sip of it, then that's when you're going to get the big sweetness. It's definitely, it kind of tastes like rock candy. You guys ever had like rock candy on a stick?
Yeah.
From the street fairs or something? Yeah, that's the kind of sugar that you get from it. But then
I hired you at the sweetness.
it's definitely going to give you those same aromas in the taste. I mean, you're definitely getting those dark fruit notes, plum, sugar, raisins, dates, figs, dark cherries, and you're still tasting what you got in the aroma, which was, you know, the clove. The clove's really going to hit you. You're going to get a little bit of banana, maybe some bubble gum. It's very complex.
Is there any banana oak?
Got you there. It's just the epitome of a really good beer to me. People are like, oh, well, first off, it's dark. It's not for me. Okay, there are people that like dark beers. There are people that like light beers. I can't help if you're a BMC drinker. I am not. I tend to try to seek out whatever the world's got to offer. Like you guys over there, you guys are drinking on a sour beer. I know people that wouldn't even, they would sneer at you for drinking a sour beer. I know people that would sneer at all of us because we are, the epitome of craft beer drinkers.
Well, fuck them.
Right. I'm like, okay.
Where's your handlebar mustache?
Right. I'm like, go home and drink your corn flavored water. I think that there's seriously a huge movement within the craft beer industry as of our time. But I also say that I do see a downfall in that.
Like my younger brother, he likes good beer, but he's not totally big on hops. So when he's like, what's a good craft beer lager, or what's a good craft beer, wheat beer that's not all hopped up or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even know where to send you.
Yeah,
so,
because when I got like 50, 60 different people at work that are like, there's a couple of them that actually know what I talk about and how to talk to them about it. But at the same time, it's just like, I know a lot of these people, they're all like hardcore drinkers and they're like BMC drinkers, or some of them are not even beer drinkers. They just drink the hardcore liquor. And I'm like, dude, seriously, you could get so much diverse flavors and aromas from anything. I said, you like this, you like this, you like this. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're good with that. I'm like, I got a beer for you. It's like I just met up with my good buddy, Chris knows him. He watched some of his reviews before. Dave Coulter, Beer Samplings with Dave. I met up with him and I gave him a beer from Canada.
Sorry, I had to say
Kitty!
this kitty, she's learned how to jump over her barriers now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
barriers.
tried to keep her into the bathroom, but now she's just like, oh no, I'll just jump over that shit. I'm gonna
Irrelevant. It's like, oh, you've given me a challenge. I'm going to jump over that now. I accept and I defeat.
Right. But, okay, I'll take a woman's aspect from this. You like chocolate. Ruby.
Yeah, I like dark chocolate.
Okay, that helps. Do you like...
Hey, Ruby.
Go ahead.
Yes.
My wife likes milk chocolate.
There you go. Okay, that's the
Milk chocolate has salt and milk in it. The dark chocolate is a more pure form with just chocolate and sugar.
Right.
Ruby.
Yes.
Wasn't meaning as in food.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Never mind. I understand now. I'm a little drunk. Can you tell?
There's two forms right there. How about cocoa powder?
Cocoa powder is a dark powder without sugar and milk. It's still dark chocolate.
Right. Have you had any milk stouts that you like?
Yeah, I do like milk stouts.
Okay. This beer that I gave my buddy Dave, it was from Canada. It's called. It's from a brewery called Flying Monkeys. It was only brewed once, but it actually had all three chocolates in it at one time. It's a chocolate milk stout brewed with cocoa nibs, the straight from the farm. It's made with cocoa powder and it's made with a chocolate milk stout. And oh my God, 10% of heaven.
That sounds awesome. I like chocolate stouts. I like them more in the winter when I'm trying to be warm and reminded of like hot cocoa.
Right.
It's definitely not like what I want right now when it's like 90 degrees outside and I'm dying.
Wouldn't you just like a tall, warm glass of an imperial stout?
No, I don't.
I have
Russian
a
stout.
Russian Imperial Stout from 2012, still aging.
Hey, by the way, I want to let the world know that. Oh, apparently I'm not allowed to let them know that.
What?
Nothing. Jesus Christ! What's wrong with you?
I don't know. You fed me.
I fed him and he farted, and it
Oh,
smells like a motherfucker in here.
Nice.
No.
That's all right. I wasn't even drinking last night, and I blasted a woman at work today.
It smells like pain.
Mine was like death warmed over this morning, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?"
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, it's great.
You just went to the bathroom. You couldn't have done it in there.
I did it in there.
No. Then you
Yeah,
did it out
you might have
here.
been in another room, and then it
Why
kinda
do we always have to talk about my farts? The
You know-
day in, day out, it's not a deal.
You know what?
Oh,
If you
no,
didn't
dude.
do them out loud,
But when it happens on the show, we gotta make a big
Right.
fucking production.
Well,
about
see-
it.
oh, because you made me wanna.
Me and my old lady's been together almost 10 years now, and it's just like we battle back and forth, man. It's great.
I'm not allowed to fart.
What?
I'm not. I'm.
What?
Women
No,
don't
it's not-
fart.
No, when a woman does it, it's not considered a fart. It's considered a fart.
Fart.
Yes, it's more polite. It's a fart.
We're an ass queen.
I'm not allowed to fart. What do you
Juice.
want?
The juice.
Oh God. Okay. I'm not allowed to fart. We've been together for 2 years, and apparently he says he hasn't heard me fart, even though I totally like threw up like a couple of days ago when I was having like a hangover, like the day after our wedding, and I'm like throwing up, and I'm like I'm like in his parents' bushes, and I'm throwing up in the bushes outside breakfast that morning. I'm like, oh God, and I totally like farted him when I threw up, and I was like, I'm sorry, and he was like, what? And I was like. He was like, I didn't hear anything. I was like, I totally just farted when I threw up.
No, you guys won't know nothing, man. I'm talking to Nick here, man. Man to man, I swear to God on the holy grave, man. I swear. If you ever hear the gates of hell open up when she's puking, make her take a test. Make her take a test. Because
What test is that?
A math
dead
test.
asleep. I'm dead asleep one morning and I hear, and I'm like, I wake up out of the dead of night and I'm like, dude, seriously? No. What the hell was that? And then I hear it again. I'm like, oh God, she's taking a test. We had our son.
So apparently you just have to be incredibly fucking drunk to get prego.
Either that or it's just like on a whim, dude, and then all of a sudden you hear her puke like nothing ever before. It was like I've heard my wife puke before, and then all of a sudden when I woke up that morning and I heard that, I was like, oh God, the gates of hell. The whole day at work, I just looked at her and was like, I gave her the sneer, like, what did you do? I was like, she's like, what?
I
Like,
got pregnant.
We're working after work and you're taking a test. She's
Well,
like,
I
she's like,
just want-
right, there it is, look at that.
I just want to intervene. I am opening the
Oh, yeah.
90-minute haul.
There it is.
This is my treat beer. The beer that I buy once a month, that I let it last, and it's a treat.
Well,
Since I'm poor as fuck, all right, it's a treat.
You know what, Chris? You're gonna be better off as fuck soon. I know
hope
it.
so. I hope so. I hope that I'm like a sales guy within the next 2 years or so, because
I'll give it a year.
what was that?
I said I'm going to put it on a year. You're going to be so happy at your job that you're just going to, you know, climb that ladder real quick, and you're going to be like at a salesperson's rep in a year.
I have a boss at my current job say that what I should do is to he knows I'm a home brewer. He
Right.
said you should home brew about 3 or 4 brews, okay, within the next 6 months. Still do your job really well, and
Good.
then give him like a 6-pack sampler and just put it on his desk and say, "Here you go, boss. Merry Christmas."
Right.
And
Right.
then if he likes it, he'll be like, "Man, I've got a merchandiser that homebrews his stuff, knows his beer." He's like, "Shit, when another sales job opens up."
But at the same time, because you're a seller, you could also mention to, and let's say, I'm just throwing it out there, let's just say that you happen to deliver kegs to a bar, to a local bar. You could actually say, hey, I'm also a home brewer. Wouldn't you feature my beers in a keg on your taps?
That's kind of awesome.
Because I know
Yeah, no.
people that homebrew that live like locally to local bars. They become, you know, buddies, and they actually feature once a month. They hold a special tap for them. Now,
That's
wouldn't
kind of
that be
cool.
something for you to be able to sit there and have your beer on tap at a local bar and sell out?
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. I mean, there is no to that. I mean, if you could actually brew something that people are buying the shit out of, I mean, you're going to keep brewing and you're going to make a name for yourself.
Well, what I would like to do, if Nick is interested, is do a collaboration homebrew sometime next year.
Very nice.
I would love that, actually. Like, I know you asked Nick, but like, I'm the other part of him now, so
Oh.
I'm gonna answer for him. And this is my answer: is that I am like a total little chef of my own world, and the idea of beer brewing just is that next gamut of like baking and stuff for me, because you know, I was a baker for so many years, and I am now, you know, almost gluten-free. Like, I've been gluten-free for quite a while,
Except beer.
except for beer. But like, what I have actually found out is that a lot of beer is actually already gluten-free without being labeled gluten-free.
Well, it's
Right.
wheat-free.
You can do the wheat-free stuff without, you know, actually sacrificing any taste or anything whatsoever. And so it's like,
Or you can
like,
get those shitty,
why do
awful
you-
sorghum beers.
oh, you know what though? Like, a lot of the beer I drink isn't wheat beer, so it's like it's fucking
rice
awesome.
and
And like,
corn.
it doesn't have to be. It just doesn't have to be, and that's what I like about it. And so, I'm actually really interested in the beer world because I'd like to take my knowledge of recipes and turn them into some really awesome beer. And now that I know more about beer, where I'm like, you know, I like Belgian yeast, I like this and that about beer, sours. I'm like, how can I make this into the kind of beer that I want to drink all the time? Because then maybe I never have to buy beer again. Maybe I just make it in my basement.
Sounds
turn
like
my
you guys also
basement.
like to visit, I forget the actual website, but all you got to do is type in homebrew talk or even homebrew forums on Google, and it'll look it up directly. Probably the top site, matter of fact. You go in there, you can sign up for a free account, and you can actually view other people's like homebrews.
Right.
You can take those, you can try them out, you can test them, or you can tweak them, and then add your own.
Right.
There's like some of the best beer in the world. I mean, people are trying to tweak to make even better, or to, you know, even try to make it their own, you know, because of the fact that we don't get distribution. Let me pick this one up right here. I've had Pliny the Elder plenty of times.
Oh.
People out there are like obsessed with Pliny the Elder. Now there are so many recipes out there that are like Pliny the Elder clones. So when you make your own clone beer, I mean, you can add your own little iteration to what you changed to make it your own. Just label it something different and just say, hey, well, it's a tweaked Pliny the Elder clone, you know. And
or Socrates.
There's actually people out there that want to taste and review home brews because of the fact that, you know, one of these days, these people are going to actually make something of themselves. Because, like, take all of you guys, for example, that homebrew. I mean, one of these days, you guys are going to get caught on by either bars, by either representatives, by either like home, you know, major brewers themselves that happen to be sitting in the bar that say, oh, okay, you know, what's that tap right there? And somebody says, oh, well, it's a local home brewer. And all of a sudden they taste it and they want to know more about what you make.
That's the death to the state stout.
Well, see, when I do like my own recipe, that's another thing that I'm going to really get into, because I am a revolutionist, and I can give a damn about what the hell the government's doing nowadays. And I will definitely be doing a revolution stout.
Well, the IPA kit that I've got, I promised a certain individual that I would name it after her. Okay, the IPA that I'm going to be doing next week actually is called the Anarchist Bitch IPA.
Nice.
And it is dedicated to the lovely Angela Keaton.
Yep, that's her.
She's pretty awesome. I like her.
I love Angela to death.
She's awesome.
So that I told her that the first IPA I brew up is dedicated to her.
I've always wanted to make a stout, like a chocolate stout, and call it chocolate shotgun, just because it's kind of disgusting.
Well, I don't honestly think that would be disgusting. I mean, double chocolate stouts. I mean, I've had a couple of them that are really good.
Yeah, but that's what you call it when you get like massive diarrhea, is a chocolate shotgun.
God.
Hey, how about a, you know how everybody's all like, you know, strawberries and chocolate? Why not a strawberry chocolate stout?
Actually, I know that you would know this because of the sheer fact that I still have a bottle of it. How about the cherry chocolate bock that
I love that. But what I'm trying to say,
I personally mentioned this to Sam Adams, and they actually brewed it.
What I'm trying
That's
to say,
awesome.
What I'm trying to say is, there should be like a strawberry chocolate stout out there.
Okay.
That would be just, you know, strawberries and chocolate together.
I would see that along the lines of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, strawberry chocolate milk stout.
You know what I'm thinking? Is it like out there in the world there should be like a ruby Belgian ale, and it's gonna be like they're all gonna be like ruby something.
Founders
ruby.
already made that Rubius.
Oh no.
They made the
Which
Rubius, but
I don't.
Matter of fact,
it was
skip down real quick.
Okay. The Rubius was okay, but like it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't worth 14
I'm talking about
bucks for
Ruby's Belgian Bloody Die Ale. Weierback.
Weyerbacher.
It's a
Weyerbacher
raspberry,
came
huh?
out with it. It's called the Reserva. It's a American wild ale with raspberry puree aged in oak barrels.
I love wild ales.
Is it good?
This is the first bottle that I had. I haven't opened it yet because I'm letting it sit around because I've heard by other reviewers that if you let it sit around for a little while, it tends to get better. Only because of the fact that it comes in a pint .94 full ounces, and from what I hear, it's got an alcohol punch to it if you drink it fresh. So I'm going to let it sit around and age a bit, probably another 2-3 months before I pop
Does
it.
that take the alcohol out of it?
No, it just takes that like nasty hit
Sometimes-
of alcohol.
Right. Sometimes it hides the alcohol a little bit, but it's not so strong.
So what is that again? How can I get some of that? I like raspberry.
Weyerbacher's, it's a beer. I don't know if you guys get Weyerbacher out there. You guys have to look in your market. I don't know how far that they distribute.
Where are they from?
They're from Pennsylvania. I don't know if they have. Let's see.
Well, if it were really German, it would be Weierbacher.
Easton, PA.
Oh wow, that's just up the road from Jim Bab.
I know, right?
Well, then there you go, man. Ask him if he can pick it up.
I
And
know, seriously. I like raspberry ales. I really do. I like the whole Belgian ale thing. So I'm going to figure out some Belgian yeast and some Belgian recipes, and I'm going to make some of my own. They're going to be freaking delicious.
Man, my favorite like fruit beers, and people are gonna say this isn't a fruit, but are like chili beers that are done right. I freaking
Chili
love that
beers are
stuff.
awesome.
Now, how far do you want to go into chili beers? Because, I mean, do you want to just stick with chilies, or do you want to go into, like, hot peppers?
No, like Chipotle ales
Yeah.
and like Anaheim steamed. Just like I love chilies.
Some of
Okay,
my
so there
favorites
was a-
so far, like the hot beers, because I really have gotten into, like, I've had a ghost pepper beer that wasn't really that bad. I mean, it was insanely hot to where, it kind of, like, melts your tongue, but it's just, like, it's still drinkable. That's from the Elevator Brewing Company out of Columbus. It's called the Scorpion. I've had the Mango Magnificanto or Magnificent from Founders Brewery in 2013, I believe. That was brewed with habanero. And Ballast Point has been making their Sculpin IPA with habanero. And it is insanely killer, and it's very good.
Hey, Scott,
Yes.
I'm on that Weyerbacher website,
Yes.
and they don't distribute out here to Illinois.
Oh, Dr. Jim.
The closest they distribute is like Wisconsin, Ohio, Wisconsin, yeah, Ohio, Minnesota. So,
Yeah, this is the first time that I've ever seen it. I picked it up a couple weeks ago, and it was just like, I know that they've done other years of it because around the A of Reserva, it's actually got 2014, and I've heard people have actually aged their bottles up to like 2 years, 3 years. So I don't know. I mean, if you come across it, or if you can find somebody that you can like send beers to and trade off with for a bottle of it, I would definitely do that because I heard it is very good.
well, I do have a beer traders group that
Oh, you do?
yeah, that people like to trade their stuff on. So I'm gonna
People
ask.
talk about beers and stuff on there?
Hey, do you
Am I
do
mistaken?
you really?
But most of you guys are in Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick and Ruby and I are all in Illinois.
Garrett and Annie are in
Garrett
Baltimore.
and Eddie are in Maryland.
The thing is, most people around would love it if anybody could get anything from Three Floyds.
Yeah, we're going through there on Friday.
We totally are. But in addition to that, we're bringing something from Chicago with us.
I will
And
tell
so,
you this: they just released their collaboration with New Belgium. It is a let me look that up real quick because they just released it. It's a collaboration beer. Oh,
They collaborated with New Belgium?
yes, they did.
Wow.
It's in the Lips of Faith series.
Okay.
Oh, that was that Pluot beer you liked.
oh, I love Pluot beer.
Oh.
Pluot's awesome. That's one of my favorites.
The new New Belgium brewery is supposed to
Ratzer
open up.
style beer. That's what it's going to look like. Here, I'll pull the whole picture up. There we go. The Ratzer style beer, and that's the bottle, what it's going to look like.
Wow.
They just released it. I think it
What's
just
it called? Flaming what?
It's Lips of Faith. It's New Belgium and Three Floyds. Lips of Faith Gratzer. It's a pint point, 6 full ounces. It's 4.5% alcohol by volume, and it's like a smoked wheat beer. And I'm going to tell you, the last Gratzer style that I had was phenomenal, and that was the it came into the Sam Adams homebrew contest that they just released about a month ago. I've never had a Gratzer style beer before, and dude, as soon as I got that 6-pack and I actually reviewed, it was the pineapple IPA, which was just yeah, and then I reviewed the Gratzer. Dude, I drank the second Gratzer right away. It was just that good.
Scott, I think my buddy and I earlier this year made a route, which is a Irish Stout and an Irish Red mixed.
Right.
Okay, I think you would love that. It was just delicious.
Because there's the Rout and then there's the Rausch beer, which the Rausch is a kind of like a smoked German malt beer.
Yep.
And then the Rout is the mix. Right. I mean, that sounds really good.
It is. It was so good.
Man, if you want to get together later or whatever, and someday that you make like whatever you home whatever,
I would love to make a trip out to.
Bruce, I'll send you Bruce what I can get here in Ohio that you can't get out there.
I'm still trying to pressure somebody, and I know you can get them out there in Ohio. All right, the Oscar Blues.
Ooh, Dale's Pale Ale.
We're actually going to a place in New York, like in a couple of days, that has that on tap. I'm excited.
And I just like, I'm like, I really want that beer.
Which
I've
one?
been trying.
Dale's Pale Ale?
I know the 1050 is a seasonal.
Right.
But the Dell's Deviant.
Yep.
Is a year-rounder.
Yep.
They put out really good beer.
Hey, when we go to, I just wanted to tell you, while we're on the point of chili beers, like Nick and I we're going to bring this beer. I think it's still there. It's a mead actually, and it's called Pirate's Blood. It's by Wild Blossom Meads out of Chicago, and it's a sweet,
you really
spicy.
need that Viking's blood.
It's excellent. I actually went to a tasting and it was freaking awesome. It was one of my favorite things, and it's one of the few things I've actually tasted that's actually been hot. Like, I really like hot stuff. I like it hot,
And
you
it's got
know?
chili in it? Like an actual chili?
It's like a what?
I said it's actually brewed with a real chili.
It's brewed with 3 different chili peppers. A smoky warmth gives way to honey sweetness. It's also bottled with 2 chili peppers to increase the heat with age.
Now you're
It's
talking
12% ABV. It's freaking delicious. Like, they give you this little bit in a taster, and I was like, "Can I have some more?" She was like, "Sure." She's like, "Are you driving?" I was like, "No, I totally was," but like, I hung out for a while. It comes out of a pirate skull-shaped bottle.
Nice.
It's a beautiful bottle. It's a beautiful mead. I really liked all of this. It's the only meadery in Chicago. They have awesome meads. If you like meads, they are freaking fantastic. All of them were.
One of the best that I've ever had was called Viking's Blood. And far as I know, it's widely distributed. But
I don't know. Yeah.
It tends to be around the lowest price that I've actually seen it was like $15 for a bottle.
Well, this is $19.95 for a bottle.
Okay.
And it's not cheap. I mean, none of their meads are cheap, but they're the only meadery in Chicago.
Well, it's not like a 12-ounce bottle either. It's 500 ml, half liter.
Yeah.
Another meadery to check out is called Bee Nectar. Bee Nectar is a really good meadery, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it should be out of Michigan. So
if we get bees, we're making mead.
Yeah, we're thinking about getting some bees ourselves.
Right. I mean, as far as I heard from other people, I mean, harvesting the nectar, the honey from the bees is not really hard. You just have to have, how do I want to say this? You pretty much have to have flowers locally around you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you decide to do a flower garden, the bees are going to stick to your flower garden.
Yeah, so we have flower gardens that are not getting pollinated because there are not enough bees.
Well, then seriously, I mean, grab up yourself a bee house and start. I mean, there's places that'll actually sell you bees.
We know. Yeah, we know. Like, my family in Georgia hasn't. They rent part of their land for an apiary, and they have since I was a real, like, forever. Okay, just forever.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but if you got family in Georgia, I would seriously go down and visit, or at least talk to family that would send you beer, because of the fact that there is, I mean, you got Sweetwater, you've got Terrapin. Those are 2 of the top-notch breweries down there. And if they can get a hold of anything that comes from Cigar City, oh my God.
Do you think they sell those in your dry county where you lived?
I didn't live there. I lived in Savannah, which is not a dry county.
No, but you totally lived in Adel.
I lived in Adel. Adel sells beer and wine, but not a lot. And, like, the liquor store that I went to, because I wanted some scotch, I had to drive 20 miles to get liquor. And I like drove around forever looking for the liquor store, and I couldn't find it. And I pulled over at like a Jiffy Lube kind of place, you know, like a quick change, like oil lube place. And I'm like, somebody here has to know where the freaking liquor store is, you know. And I pull over and I'm like, can you tell me where the liquor store is, please? And they're like, oh yeah, it's right down this road, right here. It's like a mile down this road, and then there's going to be a right down a little tiny dirt road, and there's just this trailer on the side of the road. It doesn't really even have a sign or anything, but the liquor store isn't there. I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I'm going to go look for that now.
Kind of funny you mention that kind of thing, though, because the one place that I go, it's kind of like a hipster craft beer place.
Yeah.
It has an actual, like, oil change place, like, right out front. They do tire changes, oil changes, like all that.
That's awesome.
It's
Beer
fucking
changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally pull in this trailer and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die here. Like, I'm gonna die and nobody knows where I am because, like, I'm totally not telling my family that I'm coming here to get liquor and I don't know where the hell I am. And, I open up the door and it's totally a liquor store and it's run by these, like, 2 Hindu people and I walk in and I'm like, hi, and they're like, hello, how are you today? And I'm like, I'm good. You do realize you're in South Georgia, right?
You're like, I'm just here looking to get some alcohol to get fucked up.
I'm looking for some scotch. Do you have that? You know? And they're like, oh yes, it's around the corner, to your right, down the aisle, on your left.
They got the cheap stuff, not the 12-year age.
Oh, it was totally cheap as shit. It was like so cheap. I was just like, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna buy this bottle and take it home with me. Like, just whatever. Gets me drunk.
It was kind of like that liquor store we went to when we were in Kentucky a couple of weeks ago.
No.
No,
That
it
liquor store
reminds
was
me.
better. That liquor store was better than the liquor store I went to
So
in the
it
trailer.
was this lady, and she had a house in downtown Georgetown, Kentucky, and she decided that she was going to put a liquor store in the front.
Oh,
So, no, she was cool. She was,
She
like
was
this
totally cool.
65, 70-year-old lady. I don't even know. She probably looked older than she was.
She was only 45.
But she was like, yeah, this used to be my house, and I just decided that I was going to put a liquor store in the front, and, we like it so far. And I was like, oh, so you just decided you were going to put a liquor store in the front. How'd the city think about that? Would they give you a bunch of shit? And she went off for 30 minutes
She did.
about the fucking city government and how they could suck it, and they were assholes, and that they wouldn't let her sell liquor on her patio, and that she had to have a beer license and a food license, and she couldn't be open past this time, and
Because she
had
didn't
to
have
be
a handicapped bathroom.
Yeah, that was the big thing. She had to have a handicapped bathroom.
Right.
Good for her.
That was like the only thing holding her back was the handicapped bathroom. She's like, the only thing that's holding me back is that I don't have a handicap accessible bathroom. My bathroom does not fit the code. I bought an old house.
She can gut her garage and make it a pull-through drive-through.
She was saying she could get a handicap portalet and put it out back.
She wants to sell alcohol. All she's got to do is gut her garage and make a wraparound driveway, and then she can have a drive-through.
It was just crazy.
Like we went in for a quick fifth of bourbon, and we talked to her for an hour. It was awesome.
There's a house on the way to work that they actually gutted their garage, and they have a wraparound driveway, and it's an alcohol store. They sell beer, wine, and alcohol. And it's
That's
like
wild.
right there on the main strip on the way to work, man. It's freaking hilarious.
I love drive-through liquor stores, and I'd never heard of them before I went to Arizona.
They have them in Savannah. That's where I used to get my beer when I was like 15 and 16.
Mad Dog.
Sorry, Mom.
2020, some OE.
It was mostly like Pabst and
Old
shit.
English
Yeah.
is disgusting.
Chris, you never
Wow.
drank 8-Ball.
Wow. I can't believe someone brought that up. I know brothers. I know a lot of brothers back in Denver.
wanna go
that
with
used
further,
to drink
man.
that shit.
I'll start talking about some hurricane.
Disgusting. Ew.
I'll start talking about some hurricane.
Hurricane. What's another one? Hurricane, St. Ides, Schlitz malt liquor.
Boone's Farm.
Oh, Boone's Farm. There it is.
Yeah.
I actually didn't like that then either.
Boone's Farm, strawberry, kiwi.
But the ones when I was younger, the ones I used to drink was like Mickey's.
Oh, Mickey's.
Oh, Mickey. Oh, man. Mickey's
We drink
20s, dude.
Pabst.
I haven't seen
Drink
Mickey.
Mickey's 20 time.
I used to buy
something to show you guys.
I used to
Hey,
buy cases of that shit all the time. It'd be like,
Cases.
okay,
I want to talk about cases. I can get on cases, man. How about Oh,
22s. They were
Milwaukee's best.
22s. They
Look,
were
Nick's
Mickey's
showing you what he
22s.
used to drink. Here you go. Here's his
Old
like
Milwaukee's
throwback to some
best.
shit he stole out of a bar one time.
I used to rock the OE 40s and Steel Reserve.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Get that OE shit out of here. Come on now.
That's
Old
hanging
Milwaukee.
in our
This is the
basement,
beer.
you guys.
This is the beer and bullshit show, not the beer and fucking gross shit show.
That's the bullshit part of the show.
It's the bullshit part of the show. It's like shit you drink when you were 15. Because you know he's had that for like 30 fucking years now.
8-ball sipping, the bitches all tripping.
Right.
Yeah, woo. You know it.
Oh, what?
I don't know it because I'm probably way too white for that. It's my white privilege showing. I don't even know what Old English is. What is it?
Fucking malt liquor bullshit. It's gross.
It's gross. It is. It is. I have to agree with Nick on that one.
It was like one of the first times.
Old English gangster, gangsters from like the hood would drink that shit because
Guys,
that's the only
I gotta
that's the
defend.
shit. That's the only shit they can afford, dude.
Well, not only that, but it's high gravity.
Chris,
so,
I have
like
to
back
defend.
when
Hang on.
your
Hang
beer
on,
was
guys.
only like 3 or 4 points, you could get the OE high gravity, and it was like 8 or 9 points.
Look, here was the only thing me and my buddies could do. We would take a walk, and it was like a mile-long walk from my buddy's house, and we'd go to this liquor store that we knew, like, we could play. Somebody would stay up front and play Mr. Mister. Meanwhile, somebody was, like, grabbing something out of the back. It was so dope, right? And so the closest thing to the door was Mickey's 22s.
Ugh,
And-
tastes like
and-
hot dogs.
and Steel Reserve 40s, and like that's just how it kind of worked out. Like every time we went to go do this, we got a case of Mickey's and for that a case of fucking Steel Reserve. Just that was the grab and get the fuck out of town with. And they were warm as shit too. Like we all knew. Like we had to go like dump these in the cooler and like cool them off and all that stuff.
But at the same
That's if we weren't wasted enough by the time we got back to like base camp. Like we're walking up these roads. The cases and everything got lighter and lighter because everybody was grabbing a 40 and a Mickey's 22 and just like cracking them open, and like we'd leave them in pieces walking up the road. Like we'd finish a 40. It was like, what should I do with this? It's like, oh hey, stick it in that mailbox right there. Like, but
when I was a kid,
that was 2 years ago. I mean, 12 years ago.
Wow, dude. When I was a teenager, my friend Jamie lived down the store from this Hindu gas shop, and it was way before like people started cracking down so hard on like cigarette and alcohol laws, and so she knew the guy who worked there, and my mom, who is super religious, non-drinker, used to just volunteer to like take me to do whatever I wanted to do with my girlfriends on the weekend. And so what I usually wanted to do with my girlfriends on the weekend was go to the beach. And so I had this big cooler, and we would totally take that cooler into the store by Jamie's house to that shop that she knew the attendant at.
Nice.
We would go into the shop, and we would take this empty cooler into the shop so my mom couldn't see it because she was hanging out in the car. And we would fill the bottom of it with beer and put in a layer of ice and then fill the top part of it with Coca-Cola and Sprite. And then put it back in the car and drive on down the road to the beach. And proceed to get fucking wasted at the beach like every Saturday. Yeah.
Two things.
And
is that the high gravity is a false acclamation because of the fact that after Prohibition, they actually said high gravity for a higher alcohol content. And malt liquor, is also a acclamation or a false acclamation because of the fact that during Prohibition or right after Prohibition, they said malt liquor because you couldn't sell beer. So they couldn't label it as beer. So therefore they had to label it as a high gravity malt liquor. And as of your, little iteration or story about changing the laws on the age of drinking, Ohio is still doing that. Ohio is actually considering, or it's supposed to be a law later this year, from 21 to 25.
What?
They should change the
I thought you were going
laws
to say
of driving.
18.
No, they're actually raising.
If they're gonna change any age laws, it should be the driving. Fuck that. Like, let them start drinking
No,
earlier.
well,
That way
Yeah, it doesn't
they
make
fuck
any
up.
sense.
They can
It
fuck up
doesn't-
while they're still in high school.
Man, I'll tell you.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense that
No.
you can go buy a gun, get
Right.
married,
Right.
okay, and do all this shit at
Right.
18, but you can't have a fucking beer?
Here's
Yeah,
the
they just
thing.
need to raise the age limit for buying a gun and getting married.
But that's my thing.
And
When
lower
America
the
first
age.
started,
Yeah.
when we came over here on the Plymouth, on the Mayflower, etc., we as Americans at that time, whether or not
Don't say we.
we
Don't say
actually had a small beer.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Right. We had what
Like
was
25 years old was old age.
right.
Right. Yeah.
As Americans, we only lived till the age of 35 because of famine and plague. Well, we're considered to be old at that time, but they were actually feeding their children what they considered small beer, which was only 3%. Because
How old are you? How old are you, Scott?
I am 33.
Okay.
So
You know,
I mean,
you
they
know-
were- I want it. I'm like, dude, seriously, my kid's only 4 years old. He knows how to. He goes to school. Oh yeah, guess what? I know how to brew beer and roll cigarettes. I'm like, dude, don't tell people that. I'm like, dude, that's not something you need to tell people nowadays. He was like, but Dad, I learned brewing beer from you and rolling cigarettes from my grandpa. I'm like, I don't care.
You're going to have DCFS showing up to help you.
Right,
This is a family secret.
right. I'm like, don't tell people that. You're going to get in trouble nowadays. But it's actually a profession. So therefore, I'm like, it's something that you can know, that we can talk about here in the home, that later on in life, as you get older, you're going to be able to use as a profession. So I'm like,
Scott, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt one
Go
more
ahead.
time. I hope, honestly, there's no way in the world you can take this on the offensive, but
well, go ahead.
you're kind of like drunken, glasses wearing James Franco.
Okay.
Am I the only one that sees that? Like,
You're
you
the only
kind
one
of
that
got
sees
this-
that. I don't see that in Scott
I don't know.
whatsoever.
Look at Scott. Put Scott up on your main screen there. He kind of looks like James Franco. Just
I
like,
have been
you
told
know,
that several times.
Who is that?
have you heard that?
I
Franco,
have
he's
heard,
the guy
I've heard
from
that I look like James Franco several times.
Yeah, Brian,
was-
Brian Hagen has a man crush on
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
is
better-
James Franco the guy who looks like Johnny Depp?
No, James Franco was the main actor that played as the Green Goblin in Spider-Man 2.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his most well-known role.
Right.
But he's had much better movies.
Right.
But
I've
no,
heard.
I appreciate the fact that you've heard that before because,
Right.
like, it just kind of hit. No, like I didn't notice your glasses so much, and it was like I was like, holy shit, he
Ruby
looks
just
like
pulled it
this
up.
dude.
You
You
look
see
like
it
James
now?
Franco. Yep.
Alright, cool. So I'm not the only one.
No,
If
you're
only
like the
James
only
Franco
one
was
that
as
said
cool
several
as Scott.
times. I'm like, well, I guess that could be a good thing.
Well, it's definitely a good thing. Like that motherfucker's blown out.
That
Like, you can
motherfucker's
totally
great.
play off of that. Yeah, you could be like, yeah, I'm the drunken James Franco. Watch
Right,
me.
man. Just what, man? I was the Green Goblin.
Every picture we see of him, he's in a shirt and tie. So just get a shirt and tie, and
There you go, man. All I got to do is start wearing a suit.
Yep. He's in a bow tie and a couple of them, and then maybe like a leather jacket and a t-shirt, like
Oh,
James
guys.
Dean-ish.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta get Brian Hagen on here one night with
And
Scott.
dress him in a...
Yeah, like just
And
tell
do
him,
what?
hey, I bet just be like, bro, special guest for you tonight. The one,
I've been trying
the
to-
only
I've-
James Franco. just have Scott show up as James Franco. Like he'd totally do it for a second. Oh my God. That would be so much fucking fun.
Like, all I got to do
Scott, I'll send you my Spider-Man hat.
Uh,
No, I'm sorry, Chris. You met him because I see that motherfucker on the.
I've been trying to get Brian back on the show anyway, so either way.
Oh, who's being messaged? I heard of Bling. Was that me? Was that you guys?
It wasn't me.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to go soon.
people like. Oh.
I know.
Oh,
Old
it's Daryl.
I know I'm old and I've got to pack for PorkFest the next 2 days. And my shit is not together properly.
Oh, that sounds personal.
Yep, it is.
Oh, God. Plug that. Plug it.
Talk to him about it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the camera, man. Plug it. She said your shit ain't right, man. Plug it.
No, it's like... never mind.
There was that
It's
long
not
pause
right.
in there. That's just like, oh, I got to think about what I'm saying.
No, it's like, does anybody give a shit that I have to mow my neighbor's yard tomorrow so they'll mow mine while I'm gone? And does anybody give a shit that I need to buy a new pack of underwear because mine don't fit? And
Well-
does anybody give a shit about the fact that, like, whatever, and nobody gives a shit about that. It's all the stuff I have to do tomorrow. Buy meat to take with me because I have to freeze it.
I tell my old lady the same thing, man. If you got to buy underwear, man, as long as they ain't granny panties, man, I'm cool with that. Man, I do not want to see the half-assers. I don't want to see the granny panties, man. Buy yourself some lace thongs, man, some thongs, some G-string. Man, it makes everything all better, man. It makes it all cool in the hood.
It does, unless you have to wear a maxi pad with that thing.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Man, no.
We don't talk about that.
You gotta do the whole
That's
wing
what I'm
thing.
talking about.
No wing thing. No, man, plug it.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm done. Do you want to come do my dishes?
Shit, not me. I can't even do my own.
I gotta go to bed. I'm drunk.
He's like, man, I'm done with this shit.
Mm-hmm. Take your
Really what he's going
take your lovely bride with you.
He's going to go do the dishes. This is what he's going to do.
No, fuck that. I'm not touching dishes.
Bow chicka bow bow.
Wow.
I gotta go work on some fax servers tomorrow.
Mow the
Well-
blade of grass and be done with it and just off.
Oh,
the
the lady grass is mowed all the time.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
there is no grass to speak of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you talking about your cooter?
You have to make it so
What
blatant.
other lady grass is there?
I don't know, the lady across the street.
I don't know what hers looks like. Thank you very much.
But you're gonna go foraging through it in your
Ugh.
mower tomorrow.
Oh, I totally went over there with no panties on today, by the way, to feed the cat.
There you go.
Nope. Just
And
to fix your pussy.
Bow chicka
I
bow
didn't have any on. I don't know. I just didn't. I was hot.
Mm.
Next thing you
How are
know,
their
she will
flowers?
go over there with no bra.
I didn't have a bra on either. What the hell?
Whoa! Wait! Whoa! Stop the presses.
There we
Nick's
go.
all pissed at me now. Like seriously, I just like.
I just want to know if you're gonna kill their flowers or not.
I watered the flowers. Nick.
Okay.
The flowers are not dead. Everything's
Okay.
alive.
It's fine if
Everything's
you were
fucking
naked,
alive.
as long as you don't kill the neighbor's flowers.
I didn't kill anything. I just had on like half of my normal clothing. Okay, 'cause it was
No.
fucking hot.
She's like over there like mowing the grass and naked, and she's like, "Damn, they're flowers."
No. But yeah. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday, and we'll be
Yes.
fully clothed as usual. But we'll be talking about when we weren't. Okay. And so see you Wednesday when you can hear more about like our escapades of being, or at least my escapades of being like partially clothed while doing things at other people's houses.
Next week on the Shrooms and Bullshit Show.
Thank you. Now turn.
Ruby, Nick, guys.
Hey,
Seriously, Ruby, Nick, I cannot wait to see you guys at Portfest
Yeah,
on Wednesday.
gas.
hey,
We're going up like noonish or whatever, so like big hugs and the whole, don't hump my leg, but I might hump yours.
No,
Hey,
no cock
hey.
blocking.
No,
Ruby, Nick,
Yes?
don't forget my beer.
Oh,
No, we got it.
We got it.
Take my beer.
Nick, that's why we're pitching a tent outside. Otherwise, you'd have me and Annie both in your bed, like, hey.
Be like, hey guys, how's it going? Let's talk about podcasts.
Podcast, yeah. Oh,
I
that's
just so happen to bring this microphone-shaped device.
All right, you guys. Good night. Talk to you later.
It's good seeing you,
all
Scott.
right.
Bye, Scott. Take it easy.
Yep, you
Bye.
too.
Oh, all right.
Well.
All right, Chris, what did you think of the logo?
I thought it was pretty. I think it was a good start. Yes.
Here's what I need you to do. Here's what I need to do our listeners to do. Anybody that might actually be watching this right now, send me your Google images, like Chris. Like if you see something on Google Images, any image you see that you want incorporated into that, just throw it at me, and I'll try and incorporate it into this thing. We're gonna get pseudo James Franco to come fuck with. Dude, you seriously, like, take your glasses off just for a hot sec. He James Franco, Chris.
We need dude. We need to set up a time when we can just fuck with Brian Hagen.
All right, look,
I'm serious. I'm serious.
All right, Chris, invite Brian Hagen to the show. Like, we've got all kinds of open spots right after Porkfest.
That's true.
So like,
I'm thinking about
just
having.
get him.
I'm thinking about having Scott on episode 30. So
You know what? You need to bring Scott. You should be a regular. I know you were trying to do like your own beer show
I
there.
was talking to Chris and I said, I do want to get everybody that's on here onto one of my, reviews.
Mhm.
Do the review thing. I like when people don't know exactly, how to review or how to think of beer as something else than just a normal everyday drink. So
Right.
it was like I talked to him before, and I said, I want everybody from here to do a single review. Like you, your wife, or your girlfriend, as of right now, Chris, Ruby, Nick, Jim Bob. I want every single person, that's regularly on here to do a, sit-in on my show to sit there and say, hey, this is what I get from it. This is what I smell. This is what color I assume that it's supposed to be. And this is what I taste. Hey, what if you get it wrong, you get it wrong. Hey, that's just what you do. It's your taste. It's your aroma. It's not.
Yep.
It's not the professional critique, but that's just what I liked because of the fact that I tend to, as a professional status, because of the fact that it's boring. That's why I don't go and I don't look up reviews. I don't look up, flavor profiles, aroma profiles. I just get what they intended off of the bottle.
It's funny you mentioned that because I don't look up the stats or anything like that either. I read the text on the alleged six-pack or label of the bottle, and I'm like, what? Like, this label just talked me into buying this, so I'm going to take it home. And sometimes these beers make it to Wednesday, and I talk about them on here. Like let me just give you for instance, this Truth beer, like there it is. It's this has literally slingshot in top favorite beer. Like this is battling for top 3 spots right now. And it just came out.
Is it an Imperial IPA or just a regular IPA?
It says on the label, and I know how you feel about these sort of things. Right. It says on the label Imperial IPA. That's why I was asking you earlier. Like,
I'm going to throw out there a suggestion for you. Now, can you get that one again?
Yeah, I think there was 160 at this place.
Okay. Test that one against Stone's actually released their it's called their Ruin 10. It's their 10th anniversary addition to Ruination. And I know you like Stone. And it's a hoppier version of Ruination. It's supposed to be.
Alright, so Ruination gone Ruin 10. Alright.
Yeah, it's Ruin 10. It's all one word. They just released it, so you should be able to find it because of the fact that it's, Stone. Stone releases in just about every, market available.
I'll tell you what. Hey, just the point where I need to either grab another beer or say goodnight. How you guys feeling?
I feel fine.
All right. Let me go grab another beer, take a leak. I'll be right back, all right?
Go right
ahead. No problem.
I need you to tell me what you think.
And Chris, man, with you getting into the industry, man, that's big ups to you, man. Man, I love that, man. Somebody else that I know into the industry, that's priceless.
This is something I wanted to do ever since I got into the craft beer industry, and well, the story behind it was this my boy Brandon, who works for Fritz, who I will be working with.
Okay.
Told me one Monday, a couple of Mondays ago, he says, "Dude, we're losing a guy. He put in his 2 weeks. You need to put your application in." I was like, okay. So the next day, I went down to the plant, and I put in my application. Well, as soon as I walked into the place, they knew I was there to put it. They knew that I was there to put in for my for an application to get the job. So I was like, all right. So I filled it out and blah blah blah. That next day, they called me and said, "Hey, when are you available for an interview? We'll interview you on your lunch break if we have to."
You're like, "Dude, I'm available whenever."
I was like, okay, I'll come on my lunch break. No shit, no big deal.
Right.
So I went in there. I interviewed with the guy that owns the whole gamut.
Nice.
Okay, and like I said, I had like one of their drivers. All both their merchandisers and both their two of their sales guys vouched for me.
Nice.
Okay, to get this job because they seen the work that I've done for Coca-Cola.
Nice.
So it's like, all right, that's cool. So they had lost a couple of their guys in the warehouse, and I'm like, okay, did I get this job or not? You know. And so I guess I was the only guy that interviewed for the job.
Nice.
So
I'm going Bloodline
Oh, nice.
for my final beer of the evening.
So I get this call last Tuesday and they said, we want to offer you the job.
Very
I was
nice.
like, I'll take it. That same day, I called Coca-Cola and told them I'm only doing one more week. I told Walmart
Nice.
that I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
You mean Wally World, right? You
Wally
mean
World, yes.
Good for you, Chris. I'm happy to hear all that. I'm glad you're actually going to be able to get to be paid for something you enjoy doing already. So good for you, man.
Thank you.
Guys, this fucking beer is so good. I'm really excited. Annie and I are going to Flying Dog Brewery, which is in it's in Maryland, Frederick, Maryland. Yeah, we're so lucky. We get to go to Flying Dogs Brewery in Frederick, Maryland, and watch one of our favorite bands play.
Nice.
Very, very exciting. I don't know if you guys are familiar with J. Roddy Watson in The Business. They made that song like the heavy bells, the heavy bells. That was on their second album. Their first album is so much better, but we're really looking forward to going to this brewery. They sell each one of these beers for $4, which is kind of nice. Like, you know, when you go when you know you're going out for the evening, and the beers are going to be $4 a pop. I mean, I've gone to places like, you know, we'll go up to places in Jersey or New York, and it's like, you know, fucking $8 beer if you want an IPA. You know, it's like you can buy a Miller Lite for $1 or $2, but
Right.
if you want an actual beer, it's like
It's
at
a little
least
more expensive.
$6. Like, go on.
I've realized since I am a beer snob. Okay. All right.
No, you.
Yeah, me, right?
The guy that made a Facebook group that evolved into a fucking show.
Right.
You're a beer snob? I can't even imagine.
That there is one macro beer that I would have to drink.
Macro.
Macro beer that I would have to drink.
What does macro mean?
To impress my bosses, my new bosses. Okay.
What is that macro?
And that was.
What does macro
and
mean?
that would be the Coors Banquet.
Ooh.
Oh God. Oh no, Chris, you just lost so many points in my book, bruh.
I was hoping
just
for
kidding.
at least a Yingling.
Well, if I could get Yingling here, I would. Okay, but I can't get Yingling here.
Yingling, it has been considered to be a craft beer only because of the sheer fact that they updated their brewing status in the, what is that, the BJCP.
Here's the
rule.
deal.
And I'm like,
If there is nothing better, like if I am stuck in one of these like domestic beer or nothing bullshit situations, if they have Yingling, I'm kind of like, okay, fine. I'll drink. Okay, cool. Yingling's here. Like if I go to somebody's party and it's like all BYOB and stuff, I buy a 12-pack of Yingling. Like this is the best I can do for you guys.
Well-
Like I've got my like usually me and Annie will both roll up with our own 6-packs of like, beer that we like, and then we just bring in a 12-pack of Yingling.
Yeah, you know, we opened up a Hy-Vee here last month, and they have the biggest beer selection in town besides Friar Tuck.
Hy-B.
Hy-Vee.
How is that spelled? I know what you're talking about.
HY-VEE.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And anyway, they bought everything out of at least one of everything from the Fritz Distributing catalog. Okay. Now I understand as you know months and goes on that they're not going to do that anymore because some beers sell, some beers don't. Okay, we know that. But
There's this supply thing.
yeah, there's a supply and demand kind of thing. Okay, some beers sell, some beers don't. Okay, so I went in there.
Don't be an asshole if yours doesn't.
I went in there. During the first week they were open, and I was drooling basically. Okay, because they basically had
Beer.
just about everything that we had talked about on this show.
You mean beer and bullshit? They had like
The beer
ready to
portion.
go. All the bullshit you could ever want.
They had Annie's. They had Annie's. What was that? The Anchor Steam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, they had
Yeah.
your pussy beer. I mean coochie beer. The Hop Nosh.
What was that called? That was the Hop Notch. That is
The
okay.
Hop Nosh.
I think about
Right.
that beer every Wednesday because you loved my review of it. Because Scott, that was my best beer review ever. So, Chris, go
Yes,
ahead.
it was.
Go ahead. Let Scott know what was my beer review of the Hop Notch.
It tasted like coochie.
I took a swig of this thing and I was like, oh my god, this is like the best pussy I've ever tasted. It was, but it had that tinge to it, you know, like only. Exactly, Scott doing what Chris did. No, Chris was cracking up about that joke for like 3 episodes.
3 episodes. Yep. Yep. Episode 5. Episode 5 is when he cracked that the coochie beer. It did.
That's what I'm talking about. You've got to give me like unadulterated and. I need to be able to download these episodes and edit them. Like, seriously, I can cut out a ton of stuff from our 3-hour-long conversation and make a very, very entertaining 45-minute long video.
Right.
You know? Like, I can seriously help fix this shit and make it to the point where we can get this played on the Voluntary Virtues Network.
That reminds me. I was sitting there, like, I seen there's a place out in, it has to be out in California. It's a internet TV show, and it's called like Radio TV or something like that. And they had one of the members of Bone Thugs and Harmony and Lady of Rage hosting this show. And it was just freaking hilarious. I mean, I sat there and watched an hour's worth or more of this show because of the fact that, you know, it's some people that I know and musically from my genre of music. And it's just like, it was nice to, number one, see how they have become today. And to see the differences. And then I sat there and was like, I was listening to the type of music that, you know, they were playing.
Chris, put him into the regular schedule. What are Wednesday nights looking like in the like? We need this guy. Like, you describe everything to a T. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I hate to break it to you, but like, you go over my head some of this stuff. Seriously, Chris, bring him in like every week.
But
He
then,
ain't even listening.
that's
He
another
ain't even
problem.
got his headphones on. Chris, we need Scott every week. Put him on the weekly rotation. He already told me, like, when you weren't listening, that he could do this every week.
Well,
I signed him up for it. Can you hear us, Chris?
well, July 2nd, I decided not to have us on the show, to have the show going, because
What was that?
I'm working I'm starting a new job. I'm potentially probably working 60, 70, 80 hours that week. So I decided not to. But starting July 9th,
Chris, let me help. Seriously. I'm so free all the Wednesdays. Let me help. Okay? Okay.
okay.
That's not
But-
weird.
But I still don't want to do a show on the 2nd.
Why not the second? Like, what's wrong
Because
with the second?
I really only want to do 50 shows a year.
Wait, what?
You know, there's 52 weeks in a year, right?
Right, sure.
There's
Yes.
got to be 2 weeks that, you know, this is...
This is what? What? Use your words.
We're on episode 23. Next week will be episode 24.
Right.
Not everybody's going to be back from Port Fest. So I'm skipping the second. Skipping the second week of July, and we'll be back on the 9th.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that will give us 1 week somewhere down the road where we probably will not meet.
You know what's kind of funny though? I don't do well with calendars. I've double booked myself so many fucking times.
Right,
the past couple
and
of
I
weeks,
understand, but the week of 4th of July, I'm potentially booked. That whole week, because I'm starting. That's my first. That's my first full week at my new job, and that's the busiest week for the beer distributors in my market. So,
Wouldn't you think that would be the first full week of July? Wouldn't you think that would be the busiest or one of the busiest of all distributions because of the holiday?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, my thing is, the busiest holidays that you're going to face right now, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and off the top of my head, St.
All
Patrick's
the other fucking corporate holidays. Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. Those are the busiest drinking holidays that I can think of.
Holy fuck, I've spent so much time trimming this motherfucker out of the beer bullshit. Like seriously, I've got this guy's feet. Like here, hang on. I'm gonna send you a new infographic there, Chris. Derp derp. I gotta select all of these guys. Yeah.
And don't do that. Don't do that.
I have to hit click.
I mean,
and set.
Every time
I mean,
every
if
time
we-
you go derp
even if we-
remind me of the Ninja Turtles because my son watches the Ninja Turtles and I watched the episode.
These
I watched
guys.
Yeah, right.
These guys.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I remind you of the Ninja fucking Turtles.
My son watched the episode of Ninja Turtles and they made a April derp, and the whole episode it was like derp.
I mean,
Good.
if
Good.
we even had Scott like every other week,
Yeah, bring him on, man.
yeah,
Yeah. I like this guy. He actually has knowledge about beer.
Somewhat, yes.
I mean, look at him. You know, he's got that whole Sam Adams like shrine over there.
I mean,
It just
I
fucking makes me jealous. I'm fucking jealous, man.
I mean, it goes up, it goes down, it's all over the place.
That hey Scott,
So,
the one Sam Adams beer I did not like was that blueberry wit beer or whatever it was.
okay.
I hated that. That was disgusting.
Yeah, some people like it, some people don't.
And I did not like the cherry wheat.
Cherry wheat seems to be on the low end of people's profile because of the fact that they say that it tastes like
It tastes like cough syrup.
Dimethyl, right?
Yeah. That shit tastes like cough syrup. I remember
Right.
getting a 6-pack of that shit, and I was just like, shit, I might as well just drink fucking cough syrup.
Right. The blueberry wit, that's actually one of the best blueberry wits on the market right nowadays. I mean, it's a blueberry lager, but it's almost the
Right.
same as a blueberry wit.
Right. I did not like that at all.
Right. There's some people that rant and rave about it. There's some people that just say that they just didn't like it.
But I'll tell you one thing though, the old Fezziwig,
Oh, the old Fezziwig.
Last
Oh,
year?
God.
Oh, the old Fezziwig, yeah.
the old Fezziwig last year was incredible. I don't know what they did to it.
I don't know. They say every time that they brew it, people come to their brewery up in Boston and say that it smells like they're baking cookies.
That old Fezziwig last year was incredible.
Yep.
And the previous years before that, it wasn't all that great.
Right.
So I drank more.
Oh,
I
I
drank
miss
that
the
one.
Fezziwig
I drank that one. I drank that one quicker than like the cherry chocolate bock.
Right. There's some years that I think that the what is that? The winter lager tastes
The winter
better.
lager.
They've changed the winter lager recipe up so many years that I can't count.
Right. But I've got my favorites from every season.
Right.
Summer is the Belgian sessions. I like that.
It's a good one.
The fall obviously is the Oktoberfest.
Oh God, yes,
Duh. Okay.
I love that.
I mean, I'll go ape shit. I'll go buy 3 fucking 24 packs at one time, Scott.
Right.
Okay. At Sam's Club.
Dude,
I mean, like,
seriously, every time I go down to
everybody's-
Oktoberfest, and I'll take my mug, and they'll
Yeah.
fill it up. They'll tell, this is a 1 liter Stein, and they fill it up for $10. And I
Wow.
go back time after
Yeah.
time.
Yes, there you go. Yep.
And people and people at Sam's Club's like, damn, that guy's probably alcoholic.
I don't care. Give me my
I was like, fuck that. I don't give a shit.
right. Right.
And then
Fuck those
the winner last
Yeah.
year, I really look forward to the cherry chocolate box.
No,
really
God,
did.
that was good.
And the spring,
I wrote them probably about March, April time of last year. And I was like, hey, why don't you, come out with something, I mentioned a chocolate cherry stout, and I mentioned a chocolate cherry bock. And they were like, well, we do have a recipe for a chocolate cherry bock. I was like, dude, seriously, I mentioned holiday season, and I mentioned Valentine's Day. I said, those are your two biggest seasons for something like that.
right?
There it is in the holidays pack. And I was like fuming. I was like, oh my God. They took
I
my
haven't-
suggestion.
I have an open letter to Sam Adams about their keeping the leaving the Boston Lager in the variety packs.
Right.
And I told him
it's not much
it's
of
an
a
open
variety
letter.
right there.
It's an open letter, and I said, look, the typical Sam Adams drinker, okay, already knows that you already have good beer. Naturally.
This is the thing
Okay,
we buy at the
but-
bar because there's nothing better on draft.
But the problem is that they should put a surprise beer in there
Right.
in all the variety packs instead of the Boston Lager. If I want a Boston Lager, I'll pick up a 6-pack of the Boston Lager.
Right.
Okay, but I think they should do a surprise beer in all the variety
I've
packs.
heard this time and time again because of the fact that, there's people that actually go onto their Facebook page and say the same thing. I mean, they're like, we bought a 12-pack for a reason. We want a 12-pack variety, and we don't want to buy the Boston Lager because of the fact that they wanted the Boston Lager. They can go back up, they can pick up a 6-pack, a 12-pack, or in some cases, like Sam's Club or,
The
specialty
24-pack, right?
24 packs. And it's just like, I understand that. I really do. I feel for the people that, want to have another select beer inside of their, 12 packs. But at the same time,
You're malicious in your intent.
I mean, at the same time,
you want to hoard off all of the beer to yourself.
right. But at the same time, I mean, it's just like an owner of the company stating, this is the way we're going to do things, this is the way we're going to have it, and that's just no ifs, ands, or buts about the question. It's just like Jim. Jim says, okay, I'm giving the Boston Lager to every single person, whether they like it or not. I mean, as in the craft beer theory, and I say this lightly because of the fact that, how do I want to state this? In order to be considered a craft beer, you have to sell the most of the one beer that you want to be considered a craft beer community or a craft beer maker. And that, in the craft beer terms, it states that the craft beer is only made with malt, water, yeast, and pretty much, hops. That's just it. Well, the Boston Lager is that beer. So that's why he's pushing it on everybody, is to stay into the craft beer community. And I understand that. I understand the people's philosophy as why they want that taken out and to have another beer put into it. That's why I suggested to their forums or into their Facebook page that they create yet another beer. It doesn't have to be a lager. It could be an ale. It could be whatever. That is only made with malt, yeast, water, and hops. Don't add a second adjunct or a secondary, whatever you want to throw into it. Vegetable, etc., etc., consider being an adjunct. to say, okay, here's a new beer. Every single 12-pack. You only come out with a 12-pack every season. Okay, if you're going to come out with a 12-pack every season, there's no reason that you can't come up with another recipe every season. I mean, everybody I know.
Hey, Scott, even if it was like a surprise kind of thing,
Right,
you know,
right. Don't
like,
let people know.
like the mystery of mystery beer.
Right.
That's not even advertised. We're gonna put it in there, and that's it.
Well, take a look at this. I mean, watch out for this season. I want to say fall season. This fall season is going to be a explosion. If I'm correct, you're going to have the reappearance of the Imperial Pilsner, which should be considered a double Pilsner. I mean, they're going to change up their look and their format totally. I mean, they're going to have cartoon character-looking characters all over their bottle instead of the original Sam Adams character. They're going to come out with the Vixen in 12-ounce bottles. That is a chocolate bock that originally only came out in 24-ounce bottles. They're supposed to come out with their, what is it called? It's a double black lager, which I've never heard of anybody considering or creating a double black lager, which sounds very interesting.
It does.
They've got another one. I can't, for some reason, this is the one that I get caught up on. They're supposed to be creating another one. The double black lager is supposed to have a magician on it. The Vixen's supposed to have a female character on it. The double Pilsner should have a king character on it, and the other one is supposed to have a warrior-looking character on it, and it is a... Oh, why can't I think of that off the top of my head? I keep getting confused about it. I mean, it's not a traditional beer in the sense of what we know. They've started getting into the look of old beer styles.
Okay.
I don't know why they're doing that, because I don't know whether or not they're like running out of ideas. So, we'll have to look that one up, man. And that was, for some reason, just like running out of my mind.
Whenever you want to take a small shot, we can get some.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff, guys.
What's up, man?
Well, I was just getting ready to intervene and let you guys know that I'm just about done. We're pushing on midnight my time.
Scott's time too, so he's pushing midnight too.
You know, it's
11:48.
What's that?
It's 11:48 my time.
Yeah.
It's my time too.
Hey Garrett, have everybody get a hold of me like Wednesday afternoon, early Wednesday afternoon, so I know what the deal is with the show.
Don't pawn that off on me. Make sure everybody knows where they gotta be. Yeah, I'll jump in there and be like, look, bitches, we're about to do this goddamn show.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I want, you know, for us to be, you know, a presence. We don't have to be successful, but I just want a presence. Does that make sense?
Well, I want to make sure people know, like, Here happened at Porkfest.
The Beer and
That's-
Bullshit Show. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude.
Well, have everybody get a hold of me sometime early next week or something.
I'm not gonna have anybody do anything. We'll organize the fuck out of whatever you want, though.
Well,
This is your show, bro. So,
well, I'll send out
I'll help you
I'll
with
send
it.
out an email and to get people to, next Wednesday do whatever they would like to do for the show, and I
Mhm.
need to broadcast. I need to broadcast it on my end, obviously. So
Yeah, that's something we gotta figure out. Hey
Yeah.
guys, though, it's been hey, much love, guys. I really did enjoy chatting with you guys tonight.
okay.
But holy fuck, it's midnight. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up in like 6.5 hours.
All right. Thanks a lot, Garrett. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I'll see you next week.
Good night, guys. Much love.
All right. Take care.
Oh, sorry for keeping you guys up so long. I mean,
Hey.
the one that I couldn't think of offhand when I was explaining everything was the Sam Adams Hellas Bach. I mean, it's supposed to be a Hellas Bach coming in at 7% alcohol by volume, and that's supposed to be the label. I don't know what color it's coming into right now.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, getting into the distribution part of everything, you, my friend, will start seeing everything a bit sooner than the consumer.
Right.
So, therefore, would you or would you not be able to divulge information on your show or your, whatever you do, as to when said beer would be put on shelves?
That I can do. What
Like,
my
for
okay. Starting in August, this is what my plan is. Okay. I was gonna set a website up. Okay. To average, there is a site out there called. It specializes in best beer prices in our town.
Okay.
Okay. I forgot what website it was, but the thing is that they tell you where the best beer prices are in town.
All right.
Okay. My plan, okay, is to take 10 beers, craft beers of my choosing, okay, that I've seen around town because I'm in merchandising.
Right.
Okay. And writing down who sells that particular beer at what price.
All right.
And
That
for
would be
how
a good
long?
idea.
For how long?
Right.
Okay. So I was going to put up a website, okay, and say, Sierra Nevada's blah 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 is selling at this price, or
Right.
Sam Adams is selling at this price,
Right.
or Dogfish Head is selling at this price, at this store, or blah blah blah.
All right.
My plan is to increase the craft beer sales.
Right.
So the more that I sell, the more hours I get.
All right.
Okay, and the more my salesman says, "Whoa, shit, we went through 8 cases of that freaking Sam Adams Blood Editor, blah blah blah." I think I need to order 12 cases this time.
Right.
And I just want to increase sales.
Right.
Because the distributor that I'm going through, that I'm working for, is Miller Coors.
Right.
And the other distributor is Budweiser. And I really want to make a huge dent in the Budweiser business.
Oh, definitely.
Okay? I do not like Budweiser at all.
I don't like what the company stands for.
I don't like what that company stands for. And for the most part, Miller Coors, when they bought out like a craft beer or whatever, they've left them alone. They've left Leinenkugel alone. They've let Boulevard alone. They've let all these other companies alone. They say, continue to do what you do.
Right. They bought out. Who do I want to say? Miller Coors. That would be.
That's like Molson and all that kind of.
They bought out Goose Island. They've left them.
Goose Island's Budweiser.
AB InBev bought out a portion of Goose Island.
Yes.
And
that
another
is
thing
Goose Island.
that AB InBev, what is it? They got sued.
AB InBev bought out Rolling Rock.
Right.
Goose Island. Beck's. Stella.
They bought out Stella Artois?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
We don't distribute Stella. So
I know that AB InBev got pushed out of Belgium because there is another beer over there called Budweiser. It's almost spelled the exact same way, but the Belgian court said that their beer had rights over Budweiser being sold in Germany. So the Budweiser in Germany got the Budweiser name over the U.S. company.
Right.
And I kind of clapped about that because of the fact that was kind of like a push towards the craft beer community.
And you know what? When I went over to Europe in '97, I hung out with a bunch of Swiss girls.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, don't you want a Budweiser?" And I was just like, I could have a Budweiser back in my own country.
Right.
Okay? I'm here to enjoy what you guys put out. Okay? I was just like, forget this American wine bullshit. Okay? Alright? I'm here to experience what you guys have.
Right. And it's so much better. I mean, it's so much more well crafted.
Right.
Because I don't like going out on the limb and saying, okay, this beer is better than this beer. No. This beer is better crafted than this.
Right.
Because of the fact that, I mean, it's all in, how do I want to say this? It's all an art form. Because of the fact that it takes years, like you know specifically, it takes a while, a long while, to learn the craftsmanship that it takes to become a brewer. Because, I mean, anybody can brew. I mean, they can pick up a home brewer, full kit with instructions that says, okay, brew at this time, put your hops in at this time, add your malt at this time, blah, 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 blah. But when you're working with all grain systems, it's even tougher because of the fact that you have to watch what you're doing. You have to add your malt in at a certain time. You have to add your hops in at a certain time. If you want finishing hops, add them in at a certain time. If you want dry hops, add them in at a certain time. Secondary system, when you're fermenting, okay, so you let your brew ferment for a week, okay, but do you want aroma? Okay, add your hops in at this certain day. Leave them in for this certain length of time. I mean, it's all an art form to me.
And me, it's like the first. Well, I'm sitting on a brew kit right now. It's an IPA brew kit, and I'm just gonna brew it up like what the directions tell me to do, whatever.
Right.
But the second IPA I do, okay, I'm gonna grab some extra hops.
Okay.
And I'm gonna dry hop the shit out of it.
Nice.
Okay. Because I'm a hophead.
Right.
I admit it. I'm a hophead. I love an IPA.
Right.
So I'm gonna hop the shit out of the second one, okay, and just go through the motions and shit like that. But I mean, that's not all I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do my honey Hefeweizen again.
Nice.
And then if I do a blonde ale again, I'm not going to do a strawberry blonde. I'm going to do like a cherry blonde or something.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I've got some ideas, and I would love to do a strawberry chocolate stout.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
My theory on a chocolate cherry is that you're going to not only brew it with cherries in the brew kettle.
No, it's not. It's not cherry. It's going to be a strawberry.
Well, what I'm saying is, okay, even if you're going with that route, no matter what fruit that you're going to add to it, you're going to start off with it in the brew kettle, but
right.
at the same time, you're going to also add it to either your first fermentation or your second fermentation, or both. Like, if you're going to add it to the second, you're going to add more or a bigger quantity only to get it in the aroma.
Right.
You're going to add it to the first fermentation. You want more flavor, more sugars coming from that, what you've added to the yeast. That's what I've talked about with many of other people, especially people who consider themselves hopheads, is that once you get out of the United States, Europe and Asia, they sit there and shun against what America considers to be a double IPA because of the fact that they're like, oh, well, let America go, let them do what they want to do. They can keep their IPAs. Because of the fact that we don't follow the guidelines of what an IPA or a double IPA should be. But that's what, in my opinion, as a reviewer, makes the industry so diverse. Because of the fact that you can go out and get Stone, you can go out and get, whether or not it's Sam Adams, Leinenkugel's, whatever. If they make an IPA, all of them are going to be diverse. That's what I like about the industry, is because of the fact that you can go out and get, whether it's overseas or whether it's here in America, you can get any IPA and it's going to be totally different from anybody else's IPA.
When you're done eating, I'll need to put it away.
All right. Well, I need to head out of here. I've got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right. Well, thanks a lot. We'll meet up again soon. A lot sooner than what we have been meeting up with.
All right.
And if something comes on down the road and you want to do a collaboration beer review, let me know.
All right, man. I'll let you know.
Okay. Thanks,
All right,
Scott.
congrats,
I
man.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.